Is your mic on?
Nope.
Okay, good. Oh, wait a minute. Have a listen, man. I set everything down, but it's still picking up. Try that.
No, go back to where you just did.
Go back.
No. I can hear you.
You can hear that?
I can't hear anything. No, I can. I can hear it. Yeah, don't do anything. Okay, I can hear it. Just turn everything down.
Cup action from a cold Adcock Park in West Gosford on the Central Coast. It is the home side, the Terrigal Avoca Panthers, at their makeshift home ground at Adcock Park. They're taking on the visiting side, the Cardiff Hawks. My name's Ryan Webster. Joining me today is Andy Baldwin, Statman. How you going, Andy?
Yeah, good, Ryan. Good to be back, mate, after a 3-week hiatus.
Yeah, Andy Baldwin, the goal umpire, joins us back today. Did a few games earlier in the year, so good to see him back. Cardiff last week with their first victory of the year, knocked off Nelson Bay in what was a really good game. They actually won by 10 goals in the end, Andy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good win for the Cardiff. I mean, they needed a confidence boost heading into today's game.
A few big outs, though, for them today. Matt Ryan, Brendan Julian, Walters, Vukovic, and also some late scratchings with Metcalf, Nick Chapman and Pratt. Coming into the side will be Marchant, Wells, Davies and Thompson. So a few big outs. Congratulations, 200 games to Ben Stewart. Terrigal just about unchanged, just the one late withdrawal with Josh Barty. Coming into the side in the number 11 will be Alexander White. So round 12 action here. Andy, tip for the day, Terrigal Avoca taken all before them this year. They'll be hard to beat.
They will be hard to beat now. To go through the umpires today, thanks to the Newcastle Herald. Field umpires are Sam Shergold, Stephen Bloom in his 50th first field umpiring game. Congratulations to him. Clayton Beck on the boundaries, and Nick Hickson and Matthew Jeffrey. And in the goals, Paul Best makes a return. We'll welcome you back, Paul, and Jake Lowe. Thanks
a lot, Andy Baldwin. Just about ready to go. So it'll be Terrigal Avoca in their typical red, white and black strip. They'll be going to the right of screen. And Cardiff in their gold and maroon will be going towards the left. Pretty cool conditions here at West Gosford. Probably only just a touch under 20 degrees, maybe about 15 degrees today. Cool July afternoon. And always, once again, thanks a lot to Bar TV for producing the footy match of the week. And also a major sponsor, Wilson Security, who's Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For all your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson. So just about ready for a start. It looks like it'll be Clint James doing the ruck work for the Hawks. Sam Ellis will be doing it for the Panthers. And straight away, the Panthers starting with Webster, Bishop and Billins on the ball. Might be Hillier and Adlington in there for the Hawks. So here we are ready to go. Panthers going to the right of screen, the home side. First game of the year at Adcock Park due to Hilton Moore still being unavailable. And they go up high. It was a pretty good ruck contest early. Goes out towards Gavin Kirkman, who just kind of swung it out of the air. Sheldon gets the first clean possession. Goes as far as half forward, but it's well done to Corey Billins, who drops back. Jay Lewis on centre wing, who started on a halfback flank today. Drops just short. Aidan Warren collects there on centre wing. He was one of the best last week and a good victory over at Warners Bay. Aidan Warren, Andy, coming into the side for his first senior game last week.
Oh, yes. I mean, it was a good win for them against Warners Bay.
They've taken all before them, Terrigal Avoca. So boundary throwing out on our wing. That's Adlington there in the number 53 jersey. He'll play a role today. On the bottom of the pack down there was Gibson. Out it comes to Alistair Richardson. He goes into full forward and Goulet, and on the reach, it was a lovely left foot kick from Richardson. It's his preferred side. And Jono Goulet, the leading goal kicker in the competition, Andy, with 43 goals, will kick from about 30 metres, nearly directly in front.
So Jono Goulet for 40, he's going to go in for number 44 here. Would he have played here before, Ryan? That's the question. I mean, will he be familiar with the conditions as Goulet now? In he comes for number 44 of the year. In he comes. It's going to go on the line. Gone on by moves through.
It was a low kick, but Goulet kicks the first for the day. Well done to him. So early on, the Terrigal Avoca Panthers lead 1 goal straight 6. Cardiff yet to score. Prime 7 in 2015 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Their coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including the marquee Friday and Saturday night matches. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team. So best player on the ground today will receive the $20 Subway Man of the Match voucher. And Andy, you'll be deciding the Play of the Day, mate, which is the $50 Dustwind House restaurant voucher. Keep your eye out, son.
I will be keeping my eye out. It's going to be Clayton Becker for rolled up in the centre square.
So away we go again. So James up against Ellis. Ellis, a really good young rupp, and Webster's in there. Handball out the back to his coach Bishop, who's on his right side. Goes for Darling at centre half forward. Couldn't take clean possession there, Darling. It's a good, strong tackle there laid on Sam Haig, and the umpire will have it at centre half forward. Good players all over the ground for the Panthers. Cardiff, as mentioned, with a few outs due to illness, Chapman and Metcalf. Webster comes out, just lays it on the right foot in the Goulet direction again. Goulet takes clean possession. Little handball back inside. Darling on the left foot.
And
misses to the left. First behind of the day to the Panthers. They lead 7 points. Cardiff yet to score.
So this is the home of the Gosford Wildcats, who are not playing here today. I mean, usually you would find them in the Black Diamond competition, but they're in the Sydney comp.
Okay, very small ground here. Pretty nice surface, a little bit wet underfoot, as you'd expect with a bit of the weather of late. Very cold this week in the Hunter region of New South Wales. So Cashew Sheldon doing the kick in. Goes pretty much straight up the ground, and Cardiff just controlling the footy at this stage. This is what they've got to do if they're going to kick a score against the Panthers today. Goes out in the centre wing direction. It was a good punch over the top from O'Brien. But Cardiff just working it forward now into the full forward position. Koshin's going to have a big job down there today if he's to kick a score. Good little handball there given off by Jolliffe. But coming out of centre half back is Kirkman. Goes into the Grimmer direction. Got a pretty ordinary bounce. It was well collected down there by Spriggs. Ball comes to ground. It might have been legged there to Cardiff player.
Definitely a free kick there to Ben Stewart.
So Benny Stewart in his 200th game today. Congratulations to him. He's got it in the middle of the ground. Just a little chip kick to no one in particular. He was going for the skipper in Koshin. Jimmy Hart playing on him today. Taken high was Hart. He'll get a free kick on the half-back flank for the Panthers. So James Hart, very highly regarded in the Panther ranks. He's going to go to centre half forward. Not too much action there. He's going to elect to go into the middle of the ground. This is what they do so well. So Corbin Bond, having a good year is Corbin. Jay Lewis wanting it on the inside there. He won't go to him. Bond elects to kick, and that's an ordinary kick as well. Goes for Aidan Warren. He was good enough and he was clean enough. Didn't give it off the ground. Goes back to Warren from Richardson. Threw it out, did Warren. Clever tap there from Jacob Jackson. Back to Sheldon, playing the half-back role again today. And Spriggs has it. Was tackled there by Billins. Got the handball out just in time. Good blind turn there by Goulet. On his left side, John O'Goulet kicks a goal. He's second for the day. Panthers out early to a 13-point lead. John O'Goulet, 2 goals, Andy.
2 goals now for John O'Goulet. Goes to 45 on the all-time list for 2015's Morris Goolagong Trophy. You do know the Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. The Herald's reporting and commentary leads public debate in the region, and its coverage of live issues from business and politics through to sports and entertainment is second to none. The Newcastle Herald, the voice of the Hunter in print, online and on mobile.
Thanks, Andy. All players today, well, most players wearing the rainbow shoelaces in support of Zadie's Rainbow Foundation, which we'll talk about a little bit later in the broadcast. But if you get a chance through the screens, you'll notice a few of the players wearing the colourful laces. So Van Dam, that was touched off the boot. Only went as far as Tom Gordon on that occasion. It's out on centre wing. Spriggs has been pretty busy. Out there also is Hugh O'Neill for the Hawks. No one getting a clean possession here. It's a pretty small ground as mentioned, so you'd expect plenty of stoppages. Comes out now to Webster, who elects to switch play. Has to be a good kick, and it is. It hits Jay Lewis at centre half back. Played a lot of footy here as Jay Lewis in his early days with the Gosford Tigers. Sam O'Brien, handball over the top to Bishop. He's in the middle of the ground. Quick hands, though. And it's going to be a free kick probably for a hold, I think, on Sam O'Brien. So O'Brien at centre half back. Goes for Alexander White. It's going to drop just short of him, and dropping into the hole there, Sam Haig. Haig played on. Kick will only go as far as Webster. He dropped the mark. Webster butters up and goes for Goulet again, and John O'Goulet marks.
Has John O'Goulet got a magnet or something? Because, I mean, the last time these 22 played, he's got a bag of goals, and he's looking at his third, and we've only played just on maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. Yeah,
so he's doing his goal-kicking tally. No harm today, Goulet. He's going to line up for number 3. He's kicked 1 set shot and 1 left-foot goal on the run about 2 minutes ago. Already the Panthers out to a 13-0 lead. Just played 6 minutes here at Adcock Park at West Gosford. So Goulet, got a good view of this one here from our camera. Lines up and kicks it beautifully. Will it have the legs? It does. Squeezes it inside the left post. Jono Goulet, the spearhead forward, has his third for the day. The Panthers early lead 3 goals, 1-19. Cardiff yet to score.
Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly sponsors Black Diamond AFL. And I believe we've got the Star 104.5 truck over there in the far corner.
That's a good pickup. Straight on the other side of the ground over the far wing.
That's the hardest. It's hardest to see over
Might
this
be
far
giving out a
side.
few free roll-ons or something. A couple of donuts. We got
Good
him there on
for
the
that,
camera.
mate.
Very good. So away we go again, back in the middle of the ground. Terrigal have come out all guns blazing here at West Gosford. Ellis doing the ruck work again. Got a little tap over the top. Out there might have been Alexander White. Goes back to Sheldon, who's had a fair bit of it early. But Jason Van Dam, one of the premier centre-half backs, I should say, in the competition, playing on Trent Thompson today. So he goes out to half forward. Unmarked is Alistair Richardson. He's going to turn around the left footer and deliver into full forward again. He'll probably go for Goulet. He doesn't on this occasion. It's Ellis and Sam Ellis.
Clinical for Sam Ellis there. Nice
Yeah,
mark.
just a nice kick over the top, wasn't it, Andy?
Very
Sheldon
nice.
was running back, but couldn't affect the spoil. And big Sammy Ellis started in the ruck. Good young footballer. He'd love to cement a side. He almost has pressing for finals this year. So Ellis goes back, just chips it straight over the goal umpire's head. He kicks his first for the day as Goulet comes off the ground. Looks a little bit proppy, actually, Goulet here, Andy.
Bit ginger. I mean, he's going off the field, and on him comes for him is number 17, Adam Warren. Did you know also that, BLK is our official apparel supplier for the Black Diamond AFL?
They are, Andy, they also supply a number of AFL sides, I believe, mate.
Yeah, definitely, including Richmond Tigers, which Gary Birkinshaw we know who loves, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, the Gold Coast Suns, and the Brisbane Lions.
Thanks a lot, mate. So back in the middle we go. Darling now doing the ruck work for the Panthers. Sheldon was in there, as was Hillier. Off to Gordon in the end. And they go forward here, the Hawks. Damon Smith gets there first. He's placed for the Panthers, though, unfortunately for them. Down there is Quaid. Are they going to have a shot on goal here? They might. It might come from Thompson. Right foot banana.
And it's
Out on the full. Not bad movement, though, Andy.
Not bad. That's their first inside 50 of the game. And the free kick will be taken by, I don't know if you can see over there, mate.
So it'll be Jay Lewis. So home game for Terrigal Avoca today. Their home ground of Hilton Moore Oval still unusable after the new turf. It was a pretty poor kicking. Beg your pardon. Yes, it is Gibson. Swings onto the right foot. Kicks the first goal of the game. Sloppy kicking. It just sat on top of Bishop's head. And Cardiff are on the board with their first goal of the game. So it's 19. Beg your pardon. It's 25 playing 6. 9 minutes played here at West Gosford. Just a little bit more information on Zadie's Rainbow Foundation. So Kim and Alan Turner created Zadie's Rainbow Foundation in memory of their daughter Zadie, who tragically and suddenly died in 2004 at the age of 7 after suffering a burst blood vessel in her brain. In that year she died, she was the only Victorian child to donate her organs and tissues, and only one of 6 children to donate from the whole of Australia. Wow. So her gift saved and improved the lives of up to 7 other people. In memory of that today, a lot of the players are wearing the rainbow laces. So great initiative. Back in the middle of the ground. Webster in there, tackled by Sheldon. Dropped the ball. Sheldon got the handball out, and away they go through Hugh O'Neill again, who's been pretty busy out on that wing early. Down to centre-half forward for the Hawks. Jay Lewis, little left-handed handball into Webster. Webster's usually pretty good through traffic, not on this occasion. Michael Norton takes the mark at centre-half forward for the Hawks. So they go forward again. Bit of a sloppy kick on that occasion. He was held without it, the Cardiff player. Surely a free kick, not paid. Comes now out of full back, and it'll be Farquhar to take a grab in the back pocket for the Panthers. Gives it off to Webster. So it's centre-half back here. Cardiff doing pretty well, just manning up around the ground. Billins. They'll love to use it through the corridor, Terrigal. No loose players, though. It might be Haig, who's sitting back in the hole. Aidan Warren just runs past him and takes it on the chest at centre wing. So they go forward again, looking for Sam Ellis. Good couple of one-on-one contests here. Alexander White couldn't take the mark. Grimond was in there, but it's well done through the Cardiff defence there in Jolliffe. So Jolliffe on the bottom of the pack there wraps it up. It'll be a ball up about 35 metres directly in front of Terrigal's goal. Good tap there from the Cardiff Ruttman. Comes down to Gibson. Good little punch out again. And away they go, that time through Haig. Kicks it out in the boundary line direction. I think it might have bounced, did it? It did.
It must have bounced just on the line.
So we'll have a boundary throw in. Just over 11 minutes played here at West Gosford Adcock Park. Top versus bottom today. Terrigal yet to be defeated in 2015, Andy. They're looking good, aren't they?
They are, mate. They're looking good for an undefeated season. I mean, that's one of the rare things we could hear.
Big game next week for Bar TV. We cover them taking on Newcastle City at home, which will be Batto Bay Oval next week. Real test. Probably the likely 2 grand final challenges. It's early to say, I know, but that's what it's looking like. So O'Neill kicks it into full forward. Just drops over the back. Left foot snap there came from Quaid. He probably had a little bit more time than he thought. He was actually on his own, read the footy pretty well. That'll upset Chris Bishop just dropping over the back as we see him come to the bench for a rest. Looks like he might be getting, I don't know if he's getting tagged or Gibson just coming for a break as well. So O'Brien goes on for the Panthers. And it's in the 58. So Marchant coming on for the Hawks. One of the late inclusions. Norton didn't take the grab. It'll come back to Marchant. He'll kick now towards centre half forward, but it's dropping back the big man, the ruckman, Angus Starling, at centre half back. It elects to switch play and it goes to Farquhar. They can run here, the Panthers, and they choose to. So Farquhar through centre half back. He goes down in the Jack Grimman direction. He's being worn pretty tightly down there by Ben Stewart. Long way out on that centre wing, just struggling to see the jumper numbers, and it's going to be a boundary throw in.
So you think now the top 4's really confirmed, unless you count the last spot between Warners Bay and Nelson Bay will be decided on the last round of the last competition.
Big game today for Killarney Vale as well. They're taking on Nelson Bay with an undermanned side. So Darling with ample time. Webster's usually clean, takes possession, tackled well by Sheldon, had his arm pinned and holding the footy. Good decision. So Sheldon in the middle of the ground. Holding the ball, decision went to him. He goes into Thompson direction. Thompson kept his eyes on the footy. That's got to be a free kick. Not paid to Thompson. Thought that was there. Aidan Warren gave a little handball off. Went for Webster. Now Sheldon. Good work there by Sheldon. He's had a good game early. Van Dam back to Bond. Goes to Webster and they're out. So Webster gives a little handball out here to...
A good tackle.
Good tackle there. Laid on Lockie White. Holding the ball. So Haig will be the recipient. Haig on Sanger wing. He's going to kick long by the look of it. So it's a left foot kick in the full forward direction. Good battle down there. It's Dalton, I believe, playing on Flint. It'll be a boundary throw in. So good tackle there laid on the young Panther Lachlan White by Sam Haig. Tackling pressure's pretty good, Andy, from the Hawks.
Yeah, they've done really well in the last 5 minutes. I mean, they've kept Terry very quiet. I mean... It's been all down their half, I think.
Yeah, they've been good. So James Hart here breaks the tackle for the Panthers. Goes down to the Webster direction. He's playing on Sheldon. Really good battle early. Sheldon probably just getting in front at the moment. So down there's Jason Van Dam. Sam O'Brien has it at centre half back. He's on his left side. This guy's a left footer. That's Richardson. He's going to go down to Ellis at centre wing. Ellis dropped that mark there in front of Mayo. Did well to butter up and handballs back inside. No one in particular. And the Hawks might have a chance here to go forward. They're looking really competitive. Poor handball. Webster off to Ellis. Into full forward, he's going to go for Alexander Wright. Wasn't paid. Well done there, the Cardiff defender. Kept his feet and did really well. Under pressure here, the Hawks. They're doing well just to work the footy out. Got tackled again. Did he have prior opportunity? They're saying. It was Chris Davies. I don't know if he had prior, Andy.
I didn't have prior at all, man. If
anything, it may have been in the back. Anyway, Alexander White's got it here for the Panthers at centre wing. He's going to elect to kick short. Just dropped over the head there of Lockie White. Richardson. Going to kick in the Ellis direction. It's going to drop just short of him. Down there's Gordon. He was tackled. He was held for a long time. Wasn't paid a free kick here. Back to Aidan White. Sam O'Brien kicks. The goal. Terrigal kick there. Fifth for the day. And the first to Sam O'Brien. Thought Cardiff were a little bit stiff there. Probably could have had 3 or 4 free kicks.
They could have easily had 3 or 4 free kicks there, right?
Held down there in their back line. And also out on the wing here. I thought he didn't really have prior opportunity. So, anyway, back to the middle it goes.
Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
Strong crowd here at West Gosford. Must be 7,000 packed into the wing here out on the grassy knoll. Ball up again, goes out to centre wing. It'll be Flint to get there first for the Panthers. He's on his own. Koshin's in pursuit. He goes back to Jimmy Hart. Hart elects to just chip the ball, and it's not a bad kick, but it's dropped there by White. Ducked his head. That's a good decision, and it'll be a throw-in.
Just before us, I think.
Spriggs did well there not to give away a free kick. White elected to duck the head, so it'll be a boundary throw-in here on centre wing. Cardiff lift their tempo a little bit here in the last 10 minutes. Josh Polglaze there with the tap over the top to Bishop. Just threw it on his left side. Alex White's unmarked. He takes clean possession. Didn't get the handball off. There's Haig again. He's been pretty busy. In there also is Stewart in his 200th. He kicks to centre half forward. Goes over the head there of Quaid. Ball sort of bouncing around again. Good play there, just diving on it. Terrigal kept their feet. It's Damon Smith. We've said that a few times. Goes out towards Kirkman and Bond. Might be in the 16. I'm not sure who that was for Cardiff. It's out on that far flank. And we're going to have a free kick here. It's going to go the way of the
Hawks there.
Hawks. Don't know who that is with the footy. So Gordon with a holding the ball decision. Kicked it into full forward. Jason Van Dam did well. It'll be a boundary throw in. Deep attacking for the Hawks. They've been pretty strong around the contest. Andy?
Yeah, very much. I mean, I'll tell you what now. I mean, it's in throw inside their 50.
So boundary throw in. Deep Cardiff attacking. They're doing pretty well. Just the one goal so far, though, for them. So O'Brien through centre half back on his left side. He's going to go down in the Angus Darling direction. It was a pretty even contest. He's paid a free kick. I don't know about that.
What's a free kick for?
It's going to go the way of the Hawks.
No, for Angus Thompson.
So Angus Thompson in the 32. He goes to centre half forward for the Hawks. Over the back was Corbin Bond. It was a good punch. Boundary throw in
Far side.
at West Gosford Adcock Park. 31 plays 7, nearly into time on, Andy.
Nearly time on, and I must admit, it's one of the rare rural grounds where we got a netball court in the background, and we've got the far Pacific Highway on the back as well. Indigo's for over in.
So boundary throw in, little scrubby kick forward. Down there, Stewart, also Angus Darling for the Panthers. Hard to see these jumper numbers out on this far wing.
Be another re-throw in for.
So just a bit more information. So out late for the Panthers was Josh Barty. Coming into the side was Alexander White in the 11. Metcalf, Chapman, Pratt go out of the Cardiff side due to illness. So little dinky handball over the top. Sheldon's have plenty of it. That's a strong tackle late on Tim Sheldon. Wasn't paid there for holding the ball. Play on. So out on centre wing they go again. The Hawks. They're going to drive the ball forward. Went over the head of Jay Lewis. Down there is Jason Van Dam. Little handball back inside. Ball still bobbling around, and they're out now, the Panthers, through Jay Lewis. So it comes out to centre wing. That's a good kick in the Kirkman direction. So Gavin Kirkman at centre half back. Elects to go into the middle of the ground to Billins. Good contest there between Billins and Sheldon. Billins kept his feet. Away they go, though, again, the Hawks to centre half forward in the Thompson direction.
Does well.
Poor read there by Bond. Thompson will get there first. He didn't have the footy. It's a free kick to Thompson. It's got to be.
And that's a bit. I'll tell you what, that umpire was not in control, but it should have been the other free kick, but it'll be a free kick nonetheless.
So it's going to go to Thompson, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, Trent Thompson, this one.
So Trent Thompson, he's been good in recent weeks. Kicks it to full forward. Just a big kick up in the air, really, to no one in particular. Down there's O'Neill. Also Bishop for the Panthers. Eventually comes out through Bishop. So Corbin Bond, the ex-bomber. He's going through half-back. Little handball over the top to Alex White. Chips it out to centre half forward in the Webster direction. And a good grab there taken by Webster. So he's got it on centre wing. He's got Darling up forward. So Webster goes towards the Darling direction. It's a pretty good kick. Couldn't take the grab there, Big Angus. He's playing on Maddock down there in the 14 for Cardiff.
We still haven't heard anything on John O'Goulet. He's still not in the forward line.
Yeah, so Goulet came off the ground early. He had, he went down in that mark, Andy. He took a chest mark and was sort of ridden into the ground. So boundary throw in deep forward for Terrigal. Josh Polglaze does the ruck work. There's Bishop. A little right-hand handball goes to Lockie White on the right foot snap. No one in particular. It's going to go to the Cardiff backman. He played on and he did pretty well. That's Gordon, I think. So he scrubbed a little kick. Jay Lewis has time. Handball in toward Polglaze. Josh Polglaze loads up the backman.
And just
Misses
across
to the right.
Face. Not a pretty sight now. It's 5-2. We just did time on first quarter.
So the Hawks come out to this boundary side wing. Kirkman couldn't take a grab. In there's Jimmy Hart and also O'Neill. Kept the ball in. No, he didn't. Did Hart?
Boundary throw.
Thanks a lot to Star 104.5. Plays the music we all love. Proudly supports Black Diamond AFL.
Perfect playlist on a Saturday afternoon, just watching the footy.
That's right, mate. Their truck just drove past. So falls through the back. Koshin there up against Hart. Was he taken high, the Cardiff player? No, he wasn't. In there's Bishop, also O'Neill for Cardiff. Ball sort of scrapping around everywhere. Stewart does really well. Really like the intensity of Cardiff. That is a putrid kick. Goes straight up in the air. Under it is Billins for the Panthers. Comes out the back to Alex White on his left side. Good chip there to Webster. It went the 15 metres apparently.
I'll tell you what,
And
that looks about 13.
Jimmy Webster with 24 goals for the season will line up and kick from how far, Andy?
We've kicked from about 40 out, and bearing in mind last week he got 8 goals in 30 out of the 31 that they got against Warner's Base.
Having another good year is Webster. So lines up here. He's going to kick from about 40. Generally speaking, a lovely kick of the footy. Goes back. Good ball drop. Straight over the goal umpire's head. He's first for the day. The 6th, I believe, for Terrigal.
6 for the Terrigal.
And they into time on here at West Gosford. It's the Panthers 38 leading Cardiff 7. Nearly 22 minutes of play.
Well, just across from us is the famous Gosford Racecourse, and it's part of the entertainment grounds on the Central Coast. It's one of our new sponsors. It has quickly established itself as the premier events location on the Central Coast. The entertainment grounds is an indoor or outdoor multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, and exhibitions.
Lovely, Andy. Sensational, son. So back in the middle. Ellis was tackled, got a handball out. Ball sort of bowling around. Stewart's been super active for Cardiff. Jimmy Hart might get there first. Drop the mark in front of Koshin. Koshin collects and gives it off to Thompson. Van Dam couldn't lay a tackle. That's holding the footy. Just dropped it. Has to be. Play on was the call. So Van Dam now through the middle of the ground goes to Jacob Jackson, and that's a good grab there taken by Jackson. So Jackson on centre wing. He's going to go in the Kirkman direction. It doesn't reach him. Oh, coming through well there. I can't see who that player was, but it was sensational work.
Anyway,
goes out to Thompson. Just doubles back to Thompson. Beats a tackle. Does well. Kicks into full forward now. This is a good battle here between Polglaze and Quaid. Polglaze just kicked it out of the air. Did really well. Good little handball there. Given back inside to the Dalton direction. Didn't get there. Down there is Damon Smith. Just dropped the footy in front of Norton.
And he's been pinged.
He's been pinged for holding the ball.
Holding the ball. I tell you what.
Did he even have it?
He didn't even have it. Oh, my goodness. I mean, if that's brought up at the umpires of training,
putrid decision. Anyway.
Feedback, well, I'll tell you what.
Jason Van Dam, I know what he'd be saying. He'd be saying, turn it up.
Turn it up, umpire, indeed. It's going to be Mick Norton.
So Mick Norton. Walk him in, Andy.
So Mick Norton from about virtually right in front. Don't kick it into the rover just over across the road, son, mate. I'll tell you what. Otherwise, we're going to have to find a new ball.
He's going to boot this to Macca's. I can see it.
So Norton. Virtually right in front. No kidding. And, just be careful of that car.
It's out on the Central Coast Highway. It's about to hit that forward. And, yep, God knows where that's gone. So goal there to Cardiff.
The second of the day.
Who are the goal kickers for Cardiff, Andy?
Cardiff goal kickers, thanks to the Belmont 16-footers restaurant, open every 7 days a week. Mick Norton and Liam Gibson. For Terrigal, John O'Goulay stuck on 3, James Webster 1, Sam Ellis 1, and Sam O'Brien 1. We have played 24 minutes on the Wilson Security scoreboard. Pretty
good game of footy this. It's a smaller ground at West Gosford, so plenty of back and forward action. Terrigal probably been a little bit sloppy at times going forward. And Cardiff seem to be functioning fairly well as Jason Van Dam retrieves the footy down from West Gosford McDonald's.
One of the rare times, we've got to think, as I said, Gosford Wildcats usually play here in the Sydney competition. And I must admit, it is very crowded to find a parking spot. Did you find a parking spot all right?
Yeah, just, mate. He's had to retrieve his own footy here, Jason. He won't be too happy about that.
Oh, jeez. Shame
on what are the boundary umpires doing, Andy?
Well, what the responsibility is, we've been told by the umpires, is to...
Is that their job?
It's the players have got to retrieve the ball. The players have got to retrieve the ball, and it's public safety for the umpires. And
right, fair enough. Fair enough, then.
I'll say that now. If it was going to Macca's, mate, he would have ordered a cheeseburger at the same time. Anyway, here comes
so in the middle is Hillier now for the Hawks. It'll be Ellis up against James again with those shoulder straps. So Ellis up against Clinton James. A good leap there by Sammy Ellis. Couldn't get the handball out there was Gibson. And the Panthers go forward once again. They tried to slam Lewis. He's quick. Look at White. Got good pace. Corbin Bonds on his wrong side on his right foot. Just was a scrappy kick forward, and the Hawks will come through half-back via Spriggs. In there is Aidan Warren. Away they go again, just bustling through there. It was a good play, I think, from Stewart. Handball out the back to Sheldon, who started really well here on his left foot. So it goes down to Hillier. Hillier double turns back into traffic, and it's a pretty good kick in the end. Paid the mark, no 50. Cardiff fans wanting 50. That's Clinton James, the ruckman. At centre half back for the Hawks. So James just bombs one up in the air towards Thompson. Down there, and that'll be quarter time. So quarter time at West Gosford. It's Terrigal Avoca 6-2-38.
6-2-38.
Leading Cardiff 2-1-13. Goal kickers, please.
The goal kickers, thanks to Belmont, 16-footers. John O'Goulet for Terrigal Avoca's got 3. We're not sure what happened. We'll find out at quarter time. For James Webster, 1. Sam Ellis, 1. Sam O'Brien, 1. And for Cardiff, Michael Norton's got 1. And Liam Gibson's 1. It's quarter time here at Adcock Park. I'll hand you back to Ryan.
Good game of footy here. We'll be back shortly with second quarter action. Thanks a lot.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service. Command, this is Car 33, I'm going on my break. We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
So welcome back. Just about to start the second quarter here at West Gosford, Adcock Park. It's a home game for Terrigal. They've got a little bit of a lead here over the Cardiff Hawks, but a really good game of footy. A little bit more information from Andy here about Zadie's Foundation, which we're supporting today.
So the Black Diamond AFL is, thanks Ryan, the Black Diamond AFL is supporting Zadie's round this round, and they're bringing attention to one of the bravest little girls' story to the region. From Gary Bergenshaw from the media has said that this is the second year that Black Diamond League clubs have supported this initiative to promote organ and tissue donor awareness, which all players and clubs are very proud to be a part of this campaign in driving this very important community message. Also, we should note that, currently there are 49 children under the age of 19 who are currently waiting for a transplant in Australia. Many of these kids will die in the next 12 months before they receive a transplant due to the lack of donors at the end of their life. It must be said.
So it's good to see the league. A couple of AFL players as well wearing the laces. Robbie Gray, I think, Andy?
Yeah, Robbie Gray.
A few other players as well. So just about to start the second quarter here. It was a strong start from the Panthers. They kicked 3 early goals to Goulet. But I'm looking down to the forward line and I can't see the number 5, Andy.
Oh, I don't see him either. That must be this could be a cruel blow, but I suppose they've got enough power in the forward line.
They've got enough firepower, certainly. There's no doubt about that, but that hopefully is going to be okay. I dare say Coach Bishop would probably just put him on ice so that he's okay for the pointy end of the season.
So will they play next week? That's the question. They've got a
they've got a few out. Yeah, it's a good point, mate. They've got a few out. The Panthers, they need a good side to play against Newcastle. They've got that top 2 spot sewn up, most likely the top spot. So we'll see what happens with Jono.
Anyway, second quarter begins now.
Away we go now, second quarter. James again up against Ellis. Sheldon did well, just sharked it there. Got a little handball back, came to Stewart, and away they go, the Hawks. Hagues in there, was really active in the first term. All players, it's sort of bouncing around early. Clean possession may have come from Grimman down in the Alistair Richardson direction on the half-forward flank. Getting there first was the Cardiff player. I think it might have been Stewart again with a punch out the back. Rightful kick now. It'll be only go as far as James Webster, who has it in the middle of the ground. Kicks it into the Darling direction. Couldn't take it there for Darling. There was a few players as the wind just lifts up a little bit here at West Gosford. Pretty cold conditions with the wind chill. It's probably only about 15 degrees. Bouncing around in Terrigal's half-forward line. Alistair Richardson on his right side. Down there's Jolliffe and Alex White. Also Farquhar and Hugh O'Neill. And it's going to be out on the full. I don't know who it came off. We can't really see from this side.
From an angle, I mean, it looks off a Cardiff player.
So Terrigal will take the kick, Andy.
Who's going to be taking the kick? It's on that far wing again. We can't really
That's Jackson Farquhar, I believe.
Jackson Farquhar.
Only played a handful of senior games. Would love to cement a spot in this side. It'll have to be a good kick in this breeze. He elects to go to the top of the square in the Jason Van Dam direction. Couldn't take the grab. Down there's Mitchell. Comes out to Ellis. Great tackle there late on the last line. Came from Gordon. And the ball goes over the line.
For a boundary throw, just on the point post.
So boundary throw again. Deep forward for Terrigal. No one contesting the ruck contest there. This little scrubby kick came out from the Cardiff player in the Hague direction. Ellis again. That might come out to Bond or Billings. They're both left footers on the right side. Doing well there was Gordon once again, and eventually got a handball out or threw it out to O'Neill. Umpire will have it again for a boundary throwing, but the tackling pressure is pretty good, Andy, from both sides.
Yeah, both sides very well. I mean, but it's been stuck in Terrigal's half quarter for the first 2 minutes of this quarter. So, and there's a free kick off the ball.
It's going to go the way of the Hawks.
It's going to the Hawks. They need a free kick or two. They need to get inside there.
Yeah, probably a little bit stiff in the first quarter. It comes out to centre wing now. They've got a few to beat here, the Hawks, if they're to get it. It ends up going out to Jay Lewis. Well smothered there from the Cardiff player. It might have been Hillier, I think, and he's still down Hillier. Flint was in there. Gave a handball over the top. It's back there is Gordon again, who's been pretty active early in the second term. Lewis put his head over it. But going out through now might have been Adlington. Goes to centre half forward. Well spoiled there from Damon Smith. He won't go to ground, Damo.
Well
Good tackle there laid by Thompson, and Webster's got it. He's asking someone to run towards him. He eventually switches with an absolute perfect kick. And Sam Ellis marks at centre half back for the Panthers. He goes further wide once again. They've worked it from one end of the ground to the other. So Richardson, the left footer, swings back onto that left side. Oh, well done, Bishop. Stuck the left hand up and did well. Another left footer. Goes towards full forward, and Farquhar didn't take the grab. Goes back to Bond, the left footer. Shuffles around, does well. Has a shot at goal. Corbin Bond and kicks it. Goal of the day to Terrigal and Corbin Bond.
Very rare goal from Corbin Bond, the backman. Former gets his first of the day and the first of the quarter for Terrigal, their seventh. All thanks to Wilson Security, Australia's largest, most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
So 44 plays 13 here, 3.5 minutes gone at West Gosford. Great goal there from Bond, just sold a bit of candy and kicked the ball, held it up against the breeze. It was good play from the Panthers all the way from centre half back. The kick from Webster went to Ellis. Further on to Richardson and Bishop, and it was good play. So it looks like he's getting a tag here, Bishop. It's going to be Adlington. Rucks go out at once more. No clean possession going forward. It now does. James Hart's playing in front of Koshin. Goes down towards the Darling direction. Down there playing on him is Maddock. No one taking possession again, and Cardiff might work it here through centre half back. Goes back to Maddock again. Love them to play it out this side a bit more, Andy, so we can actually see these blokes. Eventually coming through, it might have been Jolliffe or Adlington. Goes to Webster, just uses his feet beautifully. Bishop, handball back inside to Hart. So Jimmy Hart streaming through the ground. Could have kicked a goal, almost Hart. Kicked into full forward for Richardson.
He should have
goes to the right side. He had a paddock, didn't he?
He had a paddock, and I should have think that he led up to someone, but it isn't. 7-3-45, plays 2-1-13. We've played 4.5 minutes.
Pretty good game of footy, smaller ground. It's competitive all round. That's a poor kick, though. And Jack Grimman marks at half-forward flank for the Panthers. He won't be able to kick the distance.
I think he was too far out, mate.
I think so. He might be with the wind. He's thrown the grass up a la Matthew Lloyd.
Must be said, I mean, I think he'd be too far out. He might have the lead on something like... he's got Jackson in the goal square there. The very tall Bushman.
I'll tell you what, if he kicks this, I'll give it up.
Nah.
He doesn't. Top of the goal square.
Saved your life,
and
mate.
it's a mark there to the Cardiff backman.
I think you saved your back in there, mate. I mean, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, it was never going to kick the distance there, in my opinion. It might have been Stewart who kept the kick out. Don't know if you can pay a mark. There was about 3 players that got hands to it.
Yeah, there's no mark.
They're going to ball it up, so it's probably a good decision there, Andy.
Very good, very good.
As the wind comes up here at Adcock Park, it is very cool.
I hope you didn't bring the
July
road plans with you,
afternoon.
mate, because, I mean, I'll tell you what. I had to move indoors again, mate.
Paddling it out there. Goes as far as Jay Lewis on the bottom of that pack.
And there's a changeover for umpires. I mean, the guys in. So what does Cardiff have to do now? I mean, they've got to get the next 3. Probably have to get the first 2 guys from this, and including this one here.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well in tight, I think, Cardiff. You know, they're competitive. It's just the class around the edges and the probably the better skills of the Panthers, which are having them lead at the moment, of course, going forward. They've got the height with Darling now, and they've got so many players they can switch through there. Eventually comes out to Webster. So Webster goes forward to full forward. He's got Darling down there playing on...
Too wide. That's out on full.
Goes too wide. It'll be out on the full. So Matic will do the kicking in. He's got to kick it over Angus Darling, which isn't an easy feat. Only just does it on that occasion. He went for Matic, went over his head. Just poor skills coming out of the back line there for the Hawks. Players dive on it once again. It eventually comes out through, beg your pardon, it's Jolliffe in the 30, not Matic.
That's too wide as well. That's out on the full as well.
Another out on the full, so players maybe not seeing the boundary line out there.
It's the hardest line to see, mate, because it's nice and dark. Now, I've got an early prediction for you, mate. I mean, can James Webster become the first person in Black Diamond history to become 3-time Elliot Davey medalist?
I don't think he's done his chances any harm. Certainly having a good season. He's kicking goals as well, so he's having a very good year once again. So Sheldon as it bounces around. Good handball out there from Van Dam off to the next left footer, which was Gavin Kirkman, and kicks it down there. Little handball inside from Billins, and the goal eventually scored there by Jackson Farquhar. So good play there from the Panthers. Probably a little bit too easy. It was a grubby kick coming in from Kirkman, but all the same, it counts for 6 points. So BLK is the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns, and Brisbane Lions, and the exclusive on-field apparel supplier to the Black Diamond AFL, BLK, Beyond Limits known, as we see a few players here, Andy, come off for a spell.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably mid-teens here at West Gosford, I must admit. It would be a bit of a wind chill factor, but not much.
So ball up in the middle once again. James up against Ellis. Gibbo went in there. Gibson, that was, trying to get clean possession. Down there is Josh Polglay. Sam O'Brien in there for the Panthers. Lewis went to ground. Scrapping around there. Umpire will have it.
So in comes Stephen Bloom. 50 games as a field umpire for him today. So congratulations to him.
Well done, Stephen. It's another ball up. Webster once again getting active. Scraps that one to centre half forward again down in the...
It's a free kick downfield. And
direction.
Boy.
And it's going to go to...
It's going to... he's gone up for a throw. I don't know. And it's against Bishop of all things. I mean, he's saying, why me? Why me?
Okay, so they've paid it for a throw. The Terrigal player is screaming, saying that the other player threw it, being the Cardiff player. But in the end, it's going to go to Adlington in the middle of the ground with the kick.
You've had to
take Bishop not happy. You can hear him having words. So they go to full forward. Josh Polglaze has got his name written all over it. Takes an easy grab. Chubbs Polglaze in the fluoro green boots and the gloves. You'd spot him from a mile away. So Polglaze, he's going to go backwards and sideways to Lewis. Lewis going one kick further again to Jared Flint. This game going up a notch here as the wind sort of picks up. Goes for Richardson. Players loose in the middle of the ground for Terrigal, and they're good enough kicks to hit the target. This time he goes long and out further wide towards Ellis. Ellis couldn't take a grab. Down there, I think, was Spriggs, and eventually comes through to Haig. And quick hands here for the Hawks. Might see them out of trouble on this occasion. And it does. So they go streaming through the middle of the ground, and it's Haig again. He's had a really good game thus far. Koshin's been rarely sighted. Beats a would-be tackler there in James Hart and kicks around. Once again, a nothing kick, but it's going to be a free for over the shoulder against Polglaze.
It's off the ball as well, so...
So Cardiff will have a shot on goal here.
Can you see the number? 51.
And it'll be Tom Quaid to kick for the Hawks. He'll line up. He'll have to kick at 45 metres. Free kick there. The kick would never have reached the target, but a hand throw over the shoulder anyway. He goes back, kicks it, and kicks a goal there for the Hawks. Well done to Quaid.
He's first for the day, and they're third for the game for Cardiff.
So well done to Cardiff. They're just staying in touch here. A few things going their way. It was probably not their free kick in the middle of the ground, but they were good enough to make use of it anyway. A free kick there against Polglaze, and a 51 playing 19 game here at Adcock Park. Nearly 11 minutes gone, Andy.
In 2015, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights live and free, and it includes Prime 7's coverage includes 4 games every round on 7 Mate, including the Marquee Friday and Saturday night games. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team, highlighted by tonight's grand final replay at ANZ Stadium.
Good stuff, mate. So comes back to Gibson now. They're going forward again, the Hawks. Fair contest down there. Flint does well, keeps the ball in play. Jay Lewis just scrubs another one forward. No numbers for the Panthers. It's all Cardiff here. Doing well with Stewart. Little left-handed handball went underground. O'Brien will get there first. He's pursued by Norton. Screws the kick around the body into the Darling direction. Sheldon just went hard at the footy. He was the only one that did. Mayo. Another right foot kick into centre half forward. No real purpose. But Dalton was great. Onto his left side. Out on the full. When the ball goes to ground up forward, Andy, they're looking pretty competitive, the Hawks. So Damon Smith, he's going to be... Okay, so it's a behind in actual fact. So it's a point there to the Hawks. 31-point margin here. 5 goals the lead to the Panthers in a home game. Going up the middle of the ground, it's a putrid kick there from Jimmy Hart, and Spriggs cuts off the mark at centre half forward. This is where they've been a little bit messy, but that's a better kick and a strong grab there taken by Quaid. Really good mark there to Tom Quaid, the last goal kicker. Jay Lewis came in hard over the top, and it'll be Quaid to line up from a very similar position, Andy, to where he kicked his last.
Yep, and I think it'll be for 2 in a row here for Cardiff to bring the margin back to 25 points. I'll give him about 60%. That's Quaid for a second. Made him move a little bit, and I tell you what, it's just a point.
Just disappointing kick there directly in front. It never looked like going in. Just hooked it there with the left boot. So Jay Lewis again goes to Bishop. He'd be a little upset with his side's kicking efficiency here in the second term. Flint's got Damon Smith on further wide, but he looks up the middle of the ground. This is how they play. So Flint goes straight up the middle to Darling. Couldn't take a grab. Down there's Haig again. He's just got everything at centre half back today. He's been really good. The kick only went as far as Farquhar on that occasion. So he's going to go back into the middle of the ground. Farquhar to his coach in Bishop. Bishop with a longer kick now to centre half forward. Billings is out over the back. Takes an uncontested grab to Corey Billings. He turns around. Alistair Richardson's the only one up forward. He elects to go to him. Kicks it into the man on the mark. Not good enough. Getting there first will be Richardson. Goes onto his left side. Tries to beat a tackler. Does. Down there is O'Neill, but it's well done to Aidan Warren, who takes possession. Gives a little right-hand handball. Webster shuffles around a couple of players with the right boot snap.
Not quite.
Misses to the near side.
Oh, that would have been up there for the Dusshund player today.
Don't forget that, mate. That's your job to pick that award as well.
Yeah. Sorry, mate. I'm just trying to remember the German.
Good stuff. So here go the Hawks. They're going to load up and go with the barrel. It doesn't really come off on that occasion. The kick was intended for Maddock. Jay Lewis was taken high, but play on's the call. So Koshin through the middle of the ground. He goes to Thompson playing on Smith. Damon Smith does really well. But it could have been held there, the Cardiff player. It might have been Quaid. Going in there's Gibson. Damon Smith doesn't go to ground. Could have been legged on that occasion. Quaid butters up again and kicks it into full forward, but it's all Terrigal. Jason Van Dam just sitting back in the hole, and that's why they're such a good side. They read the game so well. Know when to drop back into the hole. So Grimman now out on centre wing, and they're out. Goes further forward for Webster, who's getting plenty of the footy now. He kicks towards full forward. It's a beautiful kick over the top. And Jacob Jackson playing full forward for the Panthers. Just clean ball movement, Andy, going through the hands of Van Dam, Grimm and Webster, and ends up with Jackson at full forward.
The former soccer player, as we know him, basically, for Jacob Jackson. Loading up for his first of the day. Slight angle. And no problem, sir. He's got the first for him.
So first goal of the day there for Jacob Jackson, 58 playing 21 here at West Gosford.
Did you know GE Industrial is a partner in the mining community in the Hunter region for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment, engineering services to our customers, and it's also the proud sponsor of our inaugural women's competition. We'll get some results coming in throughout the day. And I must admit, Ryan, I'll tell you what, the women's competition is building impressively, and I think the match of the round, we could have covered that as well, was Newcastle and Nelson Bay at number 1.
They're a good side, aren't they, Newcastle, in the women's comp?
But I think Nelson Bay is just a freshened as well. I mean, they're undefeated, and they're like Terrigal. No, it could be the real dark horses.
Ends up coming out to Webster after it went through the hands of Sheldon for the opposing side. Bishop from 50 with the left foot just kicks it along the ground, hits the post.
It's the fat post there.
Once again, had a bit more time than I think he knew there, Bishop. Not the quickest bloke on the field.
It's one of the fattest posts on the ground. I mean, we've had it on Bar TV.
Something else there about Bishy, but anyway.
No, well, I mean, Bishy's always a very reliable kick. We know that. As you described in Bar TV.
So kicks to himself, and away they go, the Hawks. They're going to come out to this commentary side. In the end, it is. It's a good grab there taken to Ben Stewart. I think it was Regan Bowe who it was intended for, but Stewart took it in the end. Jason Van Dam just sat up, but how good has Haig been at centre-half back, Andy? Ends up really going through to Jolliffe, and away they go, the Hawks. That's a pretty average kick. It came from Norton. Farquhar gets there first for the Panthers, and Kirkman. So tries to beat a couple and does. Little handball over the top went to Farquhar. Farquhar goes with the right foot now down towards centre-half forward, but dropping back in the hole. Might be Ben Stewart, is it? No, Angus Thompson, I believe. So kick down to centre-half forward again. Well done there to Quaid. Jimmy Hart ducked ahead. I don't think that's a free kick. Advantage has been paid anyway. He goes to full forward towards Jacob Jackson. Good battle here against Mayo. Gives a little handball off to Aiden Warren. Left foot kick. Grubbers through. Great goal, Terrigal.
Great goal.
Aiden Warren kicks his first after a suspicious free kick was paid to Jimmy Hart in the middle of the ground. Well done there. Good hands came from Jacob Jackson to Warren, and now the Panthers nearly into time on. They lead 65-21, Andy.
Yeah, they've kicked now 4 goals to 1 in this quarter. We've got to thank Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. They're the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast, and they're proud sponsors of the Black Diamond AFL for the last couple of years, and I'll tell you, the trophies look perfect.
Good to see, mate. So who are you liking thus far? I mean, we only see one game a week, but I mean for the Elliot Davey, who do you think's having a
the cracks at the
season?
moment? I mean, probably we've already said James Webster's probably the red hot favourite, as we know Nat Fife is from the Brownlow point of view, but I can't see anyone from Cardiff could be up there. But I mean, there's other players like maybe Chris Bishop, maybe even. Yeah. But
it's going to go to one of the better sides, isn't it? Perhaps the Newcastle City as well.
Well, there's Courtney Knight there as well, but
Knight, yeah, I don't know if they tend not to go to the goal kickers as much, those kind of awards. Anyway, Cardiff go forward. Koshin blinds turns, no one in particular. Goes to Dalton. Now left foot kick back into the hot spot, and it's going to be a free kick downfield anyway. Quaid played on.
No, there's no
kicked
advantage.
a goal, so
it's
going to be a goal, I think.
Well, hang on. No.
It is. So it's a goal to Cardiff. It'll go down to Quaid. It was a free kick regardless. But every time, they're just not going away, Cardiff. They're still ticking over the scoreboard, Andy.
Yeah, but they need to get at least a free goal streak. I mean, that's the thing. And you don't get that against Terrigal these days. And I must admit, it's still the defensive pressure. I mean, conceding under 50 points a game for the last 12 of the last 13 weeks, it's going to be hard enough to beat them.
Yeah, Terrigal Avoca winning by an average of 80 points this season. They're braining everyone before them, as is this man. So Webster gets there first. Handball went out the back for Grimman, but it missed him. Further wide again is Jay Lewis, and he's going to get it and have a little bit of time. So he goes to White. Alexander White has plenty of time, and he goes to centre-half forward to Billings, who went with the one hand. Probably didn't go hard enough. Down there is Spriggs. He gives a little handball off, and away go the Hawks through centre-half back. Sloppy skills, not good enough in that part of the ground. Sam O'Brien will kill it, or he plays on. Tom Gordon, who's been okay. Handball over the top now, and it ends up in Hillier's hand. So it's at centre-half forward. This is the kick that's hurt them, Cardiff. Jared Flint just... it's out of the full, so it come off the shin there of Flint, I believe.
So it'll be a free kick here to Cardiff.
So it'll be Dalton.
This is what I mean. I mean, they want to get at least a 2 free goal streak, and they'll put a bit of pressure back on them, but they need a mark and a goal.
So Hugh O'Neill leads. Same back in the goal square is Koshin. They're just going to kick it long to the hot spot, into no one in particular. Good contest there between Koshin and Jimmy Hart. In there was Sheldon. Little snap kick over the top. I'm not sure who it came from, but it'll end up in Jolliffe's hands. Oh, it's play on, so it must have been touched. Goes back to Coach, and he was tackled by Hart. Ball still bouncing around. Good endeavour here from the Hawks, but a pretty sloppy snap kick in the end came from Clint James, the ruckman. And it'll be they're peppering the behind post, Cardiff. They're kicking with no real authority towards the big sticks. Anyway, Darling there takes possession in the end. Great handball there by Darling. Went for Webster. Bond ended up handballing to himself. So it'll be a boundary throw in here. Into time on second term at Adcock Park on our commentary side. Ellis here will go up against Clint James. Tap came down. Gibson up against Webster. Rolls into the middle of the ground to O'Brien. Webster's out here. Gives the handball off to Jay Lewis through the middle of the ground. So Lewis now towards full forward and Alistair Richardson and hits him. Great footy Panthers. Clean possession. Webster, Lewis and a pinpoint pass, Andy, to the left footer Alistair Richardson, who plays a little bit across half-back.
Yeah, I think this is a rare goal for if he gets it through here. I mean, he's usually one of the backmen, as you said quite clearly. I mean, he'll have a shot, about 40 out. And this is for the fifth of the quarter, 21 minutes in, Richardson.
So Richardson comes in, left footer. Not a known goal kicker. Kicked a couple in the grand final from memory.
Sneaks through.
This one goes through, so goal to Richardson. He answers the last one from Quaid. And Terrigal open up that lead once again.
And again, once again, mate, the ball's gone over the fence.
Where is it? At McDonald's again.
And it's over at Macca's once again.
So 71 playing 27. We're into time on here in the second quarter. Might be a longer quarter because remember the ball went over there. Van Dam had to retrieve it.
Yep. And I must say this now. I mean, we're talking about awards like Elliot Davey medalist. We have also probably the most upcoming youngster. I mean, can you think of another player? I've got Rob Schindler-Taylor probably from Warners Bay, and it's his first season.
Yeah, he's had a good year. Has Trent Thompson played a lot of senior footy?
Trent Thompson, I think it's his second year.
What do you need to be eligible for that?
You've got to be under the age of, I think it's 25.
Right. Okay.
And I believe. And there's a fair few other players. I mean, Connor Haswell was mentioned last year. He did get a couple of votes, and we know what happened to the last one. Winner last year was Jared Reimer, I think it was, from Nelson Bay, who is now with the Sydney Swans Academy.
Right,
so
fantastic.
I think we've got probably some rising stars from Warners Bay that they've got, I think, as we said, Rob Schindler-Taylor. Jack Hardman has played a couple of games, but he's now playing more for the New South Wales side. And I tell you what, they've got a good future in Warners Bay, but they need fresh blood in other parts from the foot of the ground.
Yep, exactly right. So, pretty good game of footy this, despite the scoreboard. Bishop there running in front of Sheldon. Taking possession down there was Angus Thompson for the Hawks. They're going to work it out here, Cardiff. It's another one of those kicks to no one in particular. Ends up in the hands of Webster, who's had probably 20 possessions in the first half. He goes to centre half forward to the Alexander White direction. But it was for Corey Billins, but he just was led to the ball. And this is sensational work here from the Hawks. It might have been Jolliffe, I think. Corbin Bond will get there first for the Panthers. No Sam O'Brien. Back to Bond. He'll kick with his left side in the Aidan Warren direction. Doing well there was the other White, Lachlan White. Kicks down towards Angus Darling, but the 7-foot ruckman couldn't take that one. Clever play, though, as we see Jolliffe come from the ground after that nice little run through half-back. It'll be a boundary throw in deep forward for the Panthers. So boundary throw in. Bishop, handball back, right foot for Alistair Richardson. It's his wrong side. Ball sort of bobbling around. Getting there first will be Bow for the Hawks. All numbers, though, with the Panthers. So Warren, good tackle there laid by Bow. Ball still in play. Must be just in. Now it goes out. It'll be a boundary throw in.
And that's on that far side again. It's wouldn't be that far to get long to go. 2 minutes, do you think, roughly? Probably red time. So
Terrigal pushing for back-to-back premierships this year. They haven't done it since the inception of the Black Diamond League. Comes back to Coach Bishop with his left foot. Classy finish. Great goal, Terrigal. And to Coach Bishop, it was well worked. He was out the back. Bishop kicks his first for the day.
First for the day and the sixth for the quarter for Terrigal. New sponsor as well coming aboard, Mercure Kunda Waters of Golf and Spa Resort on the Central Coast. Relax, play and stay.
Yeah, great course, Kunda Waters. Love it. Especially the front nine up there. Lost a few balls there before.
So what's your best on that front nine? So what's your best on that front nine then?
Probably 5 or 6 over, I reckon.
Well, it's better than Birkinshaw, mate, because he's a 10 over there,
shocking
mate.
Goal for Gary Birkinshaw if he's listening. He's probably not, hopefully anyway. So back in the middle. Good battle here between Gibson and Webster. Really liking it. Webster's been busy this second quarter. There's Richardson. Stewart. Eventually ends up in the hands of Hillier. And Hugh O'Neill now on centre wing for the Hawks. So they go forward again. It's well done there to Webster. It ends up, though, touched in the hands of Gibson. Going forward again. Quaid. Back to, might have been Gibson again. They're away, though, the Hawks. So they kick it into the middle of the ground again. Bond just played in front there of Adlington. And it's been a bit of a story here in this second term. The Cardiff forward line playing behind a little bit. Unmarked there is O'Brien. So at centre-half back, it's Sam O'Brien. They've worked it very easily through centre-half back in the middle of the ground as the Panthers. The kick might sit up a little bit here for Kirkman, but just a strong mark there from Kirkman, taken in front of Toby Marchant.
No, hang on. 50.
So he's paid 50 here. I
think it was off. He was probably to say that close to the mark. Probably
he never went off his mark. Maybe.
I must admit, that's the first 50 for a while, and I handed 9 out on the fulls between the two teams. So that's the dangers of a small ground, I suppose.
Yep. So Gavin Kirkman, who's not a bad set shot in front of goal, doesn't kick the footy an awfully long way. He's going to have to kick this one the best part of 50 metres. So umpire still having a bit to do with it. I think aligning.
He's going to line him up a bit more.
So Kirkman now, he's got a long run up after a 50-metre penalty for an encroachment over the mark.
So in he comes now, Kirkman. Is he going to make the distance?
It's not.
Wrong side.
So miss to the left. Not sure how long's left. There can't be long now. 26 minutes played here in the second term.
Well, considering we've got the ball back twice in this quarter, I suppose it's...
Koshin now up at full back. They're going to come out to this commentary side. Might be for Stewart, but just had his name written all over it. Went hard at the footy was Alexander Wright. Not a lot of movement. Leading now is Alistair Richardson, and that's a lovely pass.
Good lead.
Led hard, and he'll kick from after the siren, Andy.
So you think, this is for a 7-goal quarter. You back him. This has got to be for his second of the day.
So Alistair Richardson already, the Panthers with a 51-point lead. Yep, 51 points. So Richardson, the left footer. He'll kick from about 40 metres. Slide angle for the left footer. Walks in now. Usually a lovely kick of the footy.
So Richardson, in he comes now. Look at that. Look at it. It's getting out there.
Kicks the goal for Richardson. Panthers get around him. And Alistair Richardson just puts the cherry on top of that first half for the Terrigal Avoca. They love it. Andy Baldwin, the goal kickers, please.
Goal kickers, thank you for Belmont 16-footers. John O'Goulet still stuck on 3. We'll find out from the coaches and the players at half-time of what's his story. 2 to Alistair Richardson, this is for Terrigal. Singles to James Webster, Aidan Warren, Jackson Farquhar, Jacob Jackson, Sam Ellis, Corbin Bond, Sam O'Brien and Chris Bishop. As for Terrigal, 2 for Tom Quaid, 1 for Michael Norton and 1 for Liam Gibson.
That was for Cardiff.
For Cardiff, of course. Thank you.
So thanks a lot, Andy. We'll be back shortly with the second half. It's a pretty good game of footy. Terrigal Avoca with a commanding lead.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
Affirmative, we have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Welcome back to Adcock Park, West Gosford, for the continuation of round 12, Black Diamond AFL, coming from between Terrigal and Cardiff on a neutral, very cold, wet and a miserable, hopefully not, day. Margin at the moment for Terrigal is currently at 57 points after a goal from Alistair Richardson after the siren. Current scores around the grounds thanks to Belmont's 16-footers. It's half-time at number 1 sports ground, where Newcastle City hold a 25-point lead over Nelson Bay 4-12-36. Nelson Bay 1-5-11. At Warners Bay's Fagan Oval, it is half-time over there in a low-scoring game. It is it's Warners Bay 1-5-11, trailing Killarney Vale 3-5-23. Results coming in from the ladies' competition is that Warren Lakes went down to Warners Bay 1-1-7 to Warners Bay 6-8-44, and Newcastle City have beaten Nelson Bay for the first time this year, as Nelson Bay were undefeated before today. They had a 1-4-10 win over Nelson Bay's 0-1-1. Back to you, Ryan, for an interesting final half, I hope.
Yeah, thanks there, Andy. So good scores coming in there from around the grounds. Back live here at West Gosford Adcock Park, Terrigal leading Cardiff 84-27. But a pretty even contest. Got Terrigal full forward down here with me, Jono Goulet, who kicked 3 early, and then we saw you go off the ground, Jono. What happened?
I just pinged a hammy in that last marking contest before I went off, yeah.
So obviously a fairly serious one, so you're just going to rest out this week. What do you think about next week, big game against Newcastle?
I'll see how I go during the week. I'll just get the ice on it tonight and rest up tomorrow, and then I'd like to get out on the track, but we'll see how we go.
Good man.
We wish you all the best, Jono. I'll tell you what.
That's stats man, Jono. He's a statistician and a scholar. So thanks, Jono Goulet. We're about to start here, second half action. Thanks, Jono Goulet there. So hopefully we see him back as we see him walk off with a lot of ice strapped to that left hemi.
Well, hopefully that doesn't affect you with the Morris Goolagong Trophy, my friend.
Okay, so just about ready for a start here.
Just waiting for the umpires to be in position. It's going to be Clayton Beck to start. A very young Clayton Beck in his third Premier Division umpiring panel. It's off we go.
So away we go here. Second half here. Really competitive first quarter in terms of the contest. Terrigal in front on the scoreboard quite convincingly. Tackling pressure up and about. Down in there is Hillier. Putting his head over the footy was Sam O'Brien. Terrigal Avoca kicking to the right of screen for the second half. In there's O'Brien again. Still in there's Hillier. Adlington waiting at the back. Umpire will probably have this for a secondary ball up.
Which he will. What do you think was said at the coach's halftime addresses?
Listen to a little bit of both addresses actually, and it was all about doing the team things for Terrigal Avoca. They wanted to, keep their structures intact. Cardiff were pretty positive. They reckon they're matching Terrigal around the contest. I do agree with them. It's just about going forward a little bit more cleanly through centre half forward, as we see a big bump there laid on Sheldon by Corey Billings, and it's Sam O'Brien through centre half forward, left-handed handball over the top for Billings on his left side. This will be a great goal.
No, and it's
This is to the left.
It's a Jason Dunstall moment, mate. Don't grubble on the ground.
I don't think it was intentional though. That's the thing. So Sheldon will do the kicking in here for the Hawks. He's going to go out to that far right-hand wing. No mark would be taken. Down there, I think it might have been Hugh O'Neill. Goes down for the Quaid direction. That's Jolliffe, I believe, there. Kicking back into centre half forward in the Cochin direction. No one really went for it for the Hawks. They're not happy down here on the bench. Van Dam just paddles in front of himself. Gibson was quick and got a good handball out, but it went to the wrong man in Grimmond. It was intended for Dalton. And now Corey Billings takes a grab in the centre of the ground. Switches play across to Sam O'Brien. Just drops short of O'Brien, but just gets around Spriggs way too easily. Has a look at the big sticks. Intends to go for White and grabs it. Alex White takes a mark. Forward pocket for the Panthers.
On a tight angle here, Alexander White. This will be for his first of the day. And
a lot of individual goal kickers. We know their midfielders kick goals. So Alex White started on a half-forward flank. Walks in. Right foot drop punt.
And
kicks the goal. First goal of the second half goes away. Terrigal. And courtesy of Alex White.
Nice goal from Alexander White there. Just want to thank Wilson Security as Australia's largest and most innovative security provider, delivering a wide range of services to a diverse range of customers. For all your security needs, call Wilson Security on 1300 Wilson.
Thanks a lot there, Andy. So it's Clint James, Hillier, Sheldon in the middle and Stewart for Cardiff. Got their big guns in there. Really like the first half of Sam Haig here as he takes a chest mark at centre half back. Goes off with the handball. Sheldon's have plenty of it across half back as well. Goes even wider. So Cardiff again, this is the kick that's probably let them down as it goes into towards full forward. Good lead there taken by Gibson. That's almost a mark. Played on though, Gibson. Switched it around the right hand side of the body.
And
missed to the left.
Just lucky to get a score there.
Yeah, just scraping in there for a behind. So first score of the half there to Cardiff. It'll be Jay Lewis doing the kicking in duties here for the Panthers, who have set up a dead straight line up the middle of the ground. So Lewis comes out to our commentary side. He's going to head for Webster. He takes a pretty easy mark there in front of Hillier. Woeful kick there from Webster. Cut off there by Spriggs. Colbin was good enough. Left foot into the middle of the ground goes for Angus Darling. Got a pretty average bounce there, did Darling. Tom Gordon. Good handball over the top there to Adlington. Adlington goes into towards full forward and Koshin. Couldn't take a grab there, being worn tightly by Josh Polglaze. And we know how stingy they are, the Terrigal backline. They concede about 4 goals a game. So that wins your premierships, those kind of stats, Andy.
They do. I'll tell you what.
So boundary throw-in. Deep forward down here for Cardiff. If there is a breeze, it's probably slightly favouring them. Down there's Hillier. Handball to no one in particular. Eventually ends in the hands of Damon Smith. And he goes down to centre wing. Good grab, though, there taken by Mayo. So Mayo reading the ball well. Goes to centre half forward and Sheldon. But coming through was Norton. He couldn't take it. Bond. O'Brien. Away they go through the middle of the Panthers through Sam Ellis, the big athletic ruckman. He's going to go for Darling, who will take a chest mark. Ball hung up in the wind. And Angus Darling there marks in front of Nick Maddox. So Darling hands off to Grimmett as he got the distance from there. It's a good-looking drop punt. It might just fade across the face of goal. It'll stay in, actually.
And it won't now.
Boundary throw-in, forward pocket for the Panthers. But it's these big guys, Angus Darling and Sam Ellis and Brendan Harper when he plays, that can go forward and kick goals. Peter Van Dam as well, also missing. So still plenty of strike power to come back into this side today. Ducking the head there was the Cardiff backman, and a good decision by the umpire. So he'll ball it up just 20 metres out directly in front of the Panther goal. We know Cardiff are rebuilding this season. Terrigal well and truly marching towards another grand final appearance and hopefully for them a premiership. So behind there kicked. Sheldon doing the kicking in duties. He's played just about every role today, Timmy Sheldon. They set up that huddle, stagnant huddle, and they go for it out on that far side. Couldn't be grabbed though. Ends up coming through the hands of Jason Van Dam. So Jason Van Dam with the left foot kicks towards full forward. Jackson couldn't take the grab. Might be play on.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean,
he's kicked a goal, I think.
Hang on, we could have a goal.
They can't score review it at Adcock Park, Andy.
Score review would be not. I think that's probably a touch that was on the line, over the line. Maybe I'll give it a point. It is.
But they've called it touch, so to be a behind to
Terrigal.
They've kicked a few this quarter already, doing all the attacking. Looking to go 11-0 in 2015 today is Hillier, who started the quarter in the midfield. Takes a grab at deep full back.
That's a better.
You pay that mark to Stewart in his 200th. Just holds the hemi there as he lands. Gives the handball off and they come back across goals. This time through Sam Haig, beg your pardon. So Bow at half back. Good run here from the Hawks. Handball back over to Haig. Wants his left side and gets it this time. Had to punch it from himself there, did Mayo. It goes back forward for the Panthers. Jackson. Stewart in there. Good tackle there laid by Billins. Comes through Haig again. Spriggs. Could have been in the back.
Yeah, and it was in the back.
Free kick there to Dustin Spriggs for Cardiff at centre half back. So where's the next kick going to go? It's going to go in the direction of Koshin.
Heading towards
Jared Flint takes a front spot and a good punch there from Damon Smith. Smith does well. Koshin now. Handball off the ground goes to Adlington. That's holding the footy. Every day of the week, holding the ball. It'll be a free kick there to Jack Grimmett. Terrific tackle laid.
And I'll tell you what, I mean, how many years, we've seen the great David Spoon Grimmett do that tackle, but now it's Jack who's making
great player with his father.
Oh, it's a bit high for Webster there.
Yeah, so the kick went over the head of Webster. Doing well there is Grimmett and Webster and Alistair Richardson. It goes back to Webster. Just delivers now towards full forward and Billins. Does well to bodies the opponent in front of the footy. It was Spriggs. Good core strength shown back there by Webster. Ball, Spriggs is on top of it. It'll be a ball up.
They're doing better this quarter, Cardiff, but I mean, they need more attacking pressure. I mean,
yeah, where are they going to get the personnel to do it, though? So Bishop, handball out the back to another left footer in Richardson. Good smother there by Mayo. Can Cardiff get out of defence this time? Handball over the top to no one in particular. Comes back to Bishop. Handball to no one there from Bishop as well. So now Cardiff might get out. It was through Joliffe back to Mayo, and he just bombs it onto centre wing. But to no avail, it'll be Jason Van Dam going back and taking an uncontested mark at centre half back. Goes into the middle of the ground to Jimmy Hart. This is the next kick where they've been better today, Terrigal. That just hangs up in the wind. Sheldon might get there first and is.
That ball held up in the wind, I tell you what.
Didn't it?
I'll tell
like
you.
a sandwich made in Scotland. So Sheldon with the win now, kicks to no one. No one even looking at it. Flint. He's going to go for Kirkman even wider. So Gavin Kirkman takes the grab on centre wing. He's going to go into the middle of the ground. That's a poor kick as well, really. Buttering up there was Clinton James. Loves the butter up. In there is Quaid as well. Bo. Players throwing themselves on top of it. It'll probably be another stoppage. Intensity pretty good at Gosford, Andy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is normally not a happy hunting ground for any of these teams. I mean, this is probably Terrigal's first adventure down here for a while. So
well done there to Jacob Jackson. Just tapped the ball to himself. Goes long to full forward in the Richardson direction. Good battle between him and Mayo. Richardson does well. Handballs back to White, but great tackle there. Play on was the call. Wasn't paid for holding the ball. Thought he definitely had prior. In the meantime, Richardson wheels around. Left foot goal to Terrigal.
that was all after that. I mean, it could have been a holding the ball decision for Cardiff there, but it's a goal for Alistair Richardson. He's third, and it's now the 15 for Terrigal. We'll go through all the sponsors for this 2015 season. Wilson Security, Prime 7, Newcastle Herald, Star 104.5, BOK, the Belmont 16-footer Sailing Club, GE, the Entertainment Grounds, which is just across the road, Sports Crest Trophy and Embroidery, Waratah Sports, the Mercure Cooinda Waters Golf and Spa Resorts, and of course the Subway Morrisette.
Good stuff, Andy. So back in the middle, Polglaze now doing the ruck work. Clint James for Cardiff. Went through their hands there of Webster. Eventually gets in the hands of Josh Polglaze, the ruckman. Makeshift kick to full forward. Goes to Corey Billings. Little handball back inside to Aiden Warren. He's already kicked a goal today, Aiden Warren. Now takes clean possession, who is held. Could have been picked for holding the ball. Wasn't. Mayo, he's been active in the third term. Beats a couple there, Mayo. Got the kick away just in time. Goes down towards Lachlan White. Now gets a handball over the back. Lachlan White back to Webster. He's a goal kicker. Webster lines up the big ones and kicks it.
That's his second of the
Terrigal
day.
Avoca keep going on their way. Webster kicks his 26th goal for the season.
Gee, that was an uncontested ball for Jimmy Webster there. That's his second of the day, and as you said, the 26th of his season so far. You'd figure if John O'Gould's been rested a little bit more. I mean, they've got Newcastle City next week. Will he close the gap a little bit more?
Yep. So, pretty big lead now for Terrigal Avoca. Goal kickers spread all over the team sheet. And as we mentioned before, so many players can go through the ruck and rotate up forward. Polglaze doing it for them. Clint James has carried a lot of the burden for the Hawks. It's going to be a free kick here, I think, for a centre square infringement. It will go the way of Terrigal. And it'll be Polglaze who will give it back to Webster, the goal kicker. So Webster through the middle of the ground. Spears a pass to Richardson.
He's
clean footy, uncontested. And Terrigal now having it all their own way, Andy.
Yeah, they're now blowing away now. I mean, Richardson for his fourth. He'll be about from 45 out. I think with the breeze behind him, I think he should nail his fourth. And then after that, it'll be the 17th goal for Terrigal. And he comes.
Richardson comes in, left foot kick. It's a nice looking drop punt.
Yeah, it's through.
He kicks it. Richardson kicks his
fourth for the day.
He's kicked 4 goals, Alistair Richardson. He's been a good player today. The wind isn't bothering the Panthers too much, and if there is a breeze, they're probably kicking into it. So doing well here to well and truly put the nail in the coffin here against the Hawks.
I feel sorry for the Hawks. Well, here we go. Jeez, I tell you what. We're about to...
grandstand.
Now, grandstand's nearly in danger. Just a reminder of where we are next week. We've got an early start, believe it or not. A 1 o'clock start, which is rare. I'll come back to that.
Start, that'll be the Panthers up against...
Again, this is one to Terrigal. Again, I think it's for a hold inside the square. We don't want to lose our grandstand here. It's been beautiful, prepared, and it's going to be... He's looking for square options. Come on.
So Polglaze Kicks long in the end of it and goes in the direction of Angus Darling, who's being really well held. Punch ended up coming from Mayo. Down there's Haig, who's tried all day. Got tackled in the end. Could have been holding the footy off the ground towards Thompson. Getting there first will be the Cardiff player there. It was Dalton. Jay Lewis does really well to butter up. Couldn't take clean possession. Now breaks the tackle. So Lewis to centre half to the centre wing position in the direction of Lockie White. Doing well there was Stewart, the 200 gamer. Kicks now. Oh, it's a shank of a kick. He might come off for them though, as it's the number 58, which is Toby Marchant it was. Ball's in the middle of the ground. Centre half forward here for the Hawks. This is a good battle between Stewart and Bond. Gibson and Bond, beg your pardon. Josh Polglaze, handball back to Bond. Now he gets it Corbin. So Corbin through centre half back. Left-handed handball to Sam O'Brien. Shows a little bit of hand candy. Now they come back into the middle of the ground. This is what they do. Bishop up against Sheldon. Great contest. Doing well there was Jack Grimman. Just beat a couple of tackles and drives them forward again, the Panthers. One-on-one contest. Matic up against Darling. Play on was the call. Alexander White back to Billins. Left foot snap. Terrific goal. Terrigal. Great build-up. Great sidestep there from Grimman. And in the end, Corey Billins was the beneficiary of the goal.
He was the architect of that one. That's another goal for them. That's we've got some score updates from around the grounds. It's basically, here we got Killarney Vales now up by 33 points halfway through the third quarter against Warners Bay 6-9-45, leading Warners Bay 1-6-12. Halfway through the third quarter at number one sports ground as well. We're Newcastle City 7-14-56, leading Wilson Bay 1-5-11. And there's another free kick infringement. This time it will go to Cardiff.
So
Against
not
Jimmy
sure what that
Webster.
was for. So Bo tackled, run down from behind. Sam O'Brien holding the footy. Nothing going right here for the Hawks in the third term. It's all one-way traffic. They go forward again. Goes for Aidan Warren on this occasion. Was great last week in a big victory over Warners Bay. Went for Jacob Jackson. A few of these kicks are falling a little bit short. Goes back to Webster. He'll probably back himself from here. Webster has a shot at goal. Coming back.
Oh, was it?
Might have been touched over the line, was it?
I think it's all clear. Hang on, wait, another umpire's conference. I think we're going to have a goal here, I think.
It's either going to be a third goal to Webster or
It
it'll be
is.
touched, and it's a goal. Terrific finish there from Jimmy Webster. He's potting him from everywhere. That'll be his 27th for the season.
27 for the season, mate. I'll tell you what, that was a lot on the side. I mean, that's the second goal umpire conference we've had, but I think that was clearly not touched.
Great goal there to the reigning Jewel Elliott Davey medalist, brother of the commentator. I'm probably slightly more talented. So 116 playing 28.
That's just unfair for anyone who's a Cardiff supporter today. I mean, that's 5 goals in this quarter. 5 goals, 2 to 1 point. I mean, I don't want to say it. I mean, we don't want to see another 200-point score, please.
So goes forward again. It's going to be out on centre wing. Sheldon will get there potentially first, or it might be Sam Haig. Uses his body well there to Haig. Keeping his feet was the ruckman, Josh Polglaze. Jack Grimman's getting active. Kicks to centre half forward. Ball just hangs up in the air. Lachlan White was outnumbered. O'Brien back to the goal kicker, Webster. Kicks the ball around his body. Darling wanted to get there first, but it'll be Mayo for the Hawks. Mayo goes to ground in the end. Comes back to Richardson, the left footer. Left foot chip over the top will be for Billings. Takes the grab one-handed. Cardiff players look more tired, and it's just one of those games, Andy, where it seems that Terrigal have got more players over the field.
Mate, I'll tell you what, they'll agree with you more. I mean, Billings is going to have him through his second of the day, and this is to put it out to a, oh boy, even though when I say this is huge, 94-point lead.
94-point lead, and we're midway through the third term.
So anyway, Billings. In he comes for his second of the day. Hopefully he knows what he's looking at. Bit short, still doesn't matter. Goal umpire doesn't move. And I tell you what, that's Corey Billings' second of the day.
Great goal there too.
19 for the game for Terrigal
So
Avoca.
19 goals to Terrigal. Thanks a lot to Waratah Sports, who has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. And also to Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery, who are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. They are also proud supporters of the Black Diamond AFL. So a lot of great sponsors on board in 2015. A big thank you to Bar TV, of course, for making Match of the Round possible each week. So away we go again. Ellis up against Regan Bow this time doing the ruck work for the Hawks, but it could have been held there was Farquhar. On hands and knees there is Richardson, who's getting super active. Richardson tries to beat a couple, could be holding the footy, not paid. So Gavin Kirkman going forward. Aidan Warren there will take possession first, and he's quick. A lot of these pacey half forwards here for the Panthers. Drills a pass in. He was looking for Lockie White. Coming out there is Gordon, who's been good in patches today, Gordon.
Now they've got a bit of room. They're going to move.
So got a bit of a run on here. Cardiff desperately want a goal here in this third term. Looking for Quaid, playing on Damon Smith. Smith just runs past Quaid. Switches across. That's just way too easy there for Terrigal. So Flint now on the open side. They're going to bring it back through the middle of the ground most likely. There's not much going on out here. That's a kick that's going to miss Gavin Kirkman. Getting there first will be Trent Thompson for the Hawks. He gives a handball back to Haig, who's now at half forward. O'Brien will chop it off, or it might have been White. Jay Lewis as well. In there is Lockie White. Gets it off to Sam O'Brien. And O'Brien drills a pass. Misses the intended target of Angus Starling. Getting there first will be Mayo, but it's just at the ankle straps. Big Gus won't be happy with that one.
I'll tell you what, that was their third inside 50 all this quarter, only for Cardiff. I mean, Cardiff would have not been happy to see that Terrigal scored from 20 inside 50s, I think, this quarter.
So doing the no one doing the ruck work there. Sheldon will get clean possession and kick it to centre half forward, and you've almost paid that mark, but not paid in the end. It was Dalton. Here comes Jimmy Hart, kicking into centre half forward now in the Jacob Jackson direction. Also there is Grimond. He'll get there first, Grimond. Just does a little right foot banana to nobody in particular. Alexander White takes clean possession, gets onto his right foot, just burns them for pace. Alex White dropped it, did he? No, he didn't. Play on's the call. Alistair Richardson, the left footer, lines up the big ones. Oh, good grab there, taken by Lockie White.
Lockie White. He'll be looking for his first here. I mean, come on. This is
just played a role today, Lockie White. But when it was his turn then, he took a great overhead mark. That'll impress Coach Bishop.
Yep.
Hopefully he can forge a spot in this senior side.
Oh,
Hits the post.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. That's all that training drills. And I'll tell you what. If you get a nudie run after that, mate, you'll be facing it.
Lockie White hopefully gets another crack at that one. So Gibson doing the kicking duties now. He switched with Sheldon. Punch gains another 30 metres there for Cardiff, and it'll be a throw-in on centre wing.
It was a good thing that was touched, otherwise it would have been out on the full. And
yeah, exactly. Exactly right. So next week it'll be top of the table clash, arguably scheduling-wise, almost the match of the season that we'll do on Bar TV. Newcastle City playing Terrigal Avoca at Baddo Bay Sports Ground. It'll be a home match for Terrigal.
And a 1 o'clock start as well. It is.
Ends up in the hands of Van Dam. So Jason Van Dam kicking now towards full forward. Poor old Angus Darling, his delivery's been a little bit subpar today. Wrapped up there was the Cardiff backman, and it's going to be a ball up about 35 metres in front of the Terrigal goal. The third quarter has completely belonged to them. It was pretty competitive at half time, but they've blown them away. They're almost out. Are they over 100 points now, Andy?
Just under 100 points at the moment.
Just under 100 points in front, the Panthers. Good tackling pressure there from Webster, and it'll be another ball up.
So that was a throw up for, again, it will be up to Stephen Bloom. And it's once again, congratulations to a 50th gamer for him as a field umpire.
That was a little left foot kick there forward from Gibson. Hart here up against Dalton. It's been a good battle all day. Hart definitely getting the bickies there. So Quaid and it might be Gavin Kirkman having a little bit to say to each other here at centre half forward for the Hawks. Just being separated now.
The boundary throw on that far wing.
So boundary throw in again. Half forward for the Hawks. Webster. Handball back inside to Lewis. Jay Lewis with a penetrating kick into the middle of the ground. Well done though to Spriggs, playing in front there of Alexander White. And Dustin Spriggs has it in the middle of the ground. Can they get anything going forward here, the Hawks? Kicks it to centre half forward, and Thompson takes an uncontested mark. Good play there. So this is the next kick.
So he's been the best player, I think, from that point of view.
They've got Dalton running back towards goal. Thompson giving the impressions that he's going to have a shot. Hasn't got a great deal of players leading at him.
Well, I think he's got the power. He hasn't got a goal so far, but then he comes down. It's going to be close. Marked on the line, no. Minus score. That's only their second point of the quarter. We played 22 minutes on the Wilson Security scoreboard.
So touched over the line there. Jay Lewis doing the kicking in duties. Goes for Jared Flint. They've used it all day. I can't really recall Terrigal having to bomb it long out of defence. They've just chipped it around so beautifully. Richardson's got it at half back. Had Corbin Bond out here on our wing free. Didn't go to him in the end. Kirkman marks. Goes in the middle as well. Gee, Terrigal just making every kick look a good one. Taking the one-handed mark there was Flint. So Flint now goes long, and he's going to go towards Alexander White, who's playing full forward. Not a free kick there for in the back against White. Cardiff working it out. Koshin. Little handball to nobody in particular. Spriggs is there as is Sam Ellis for Terrigal. Aidan Warren eventually getting his hands on it. Handball to no one again. Koshin in the back line. Now in the hands of Spriggs. It's well done there to Ellis. And now out to Lockie White, trying to level up the ledger after hitting the post earlier from directly in front. Now it comes through, and Jason Van Dam had his name written all over it. Van Dam kicks into Billings. Billings marks right on his limit.
You think he'd be right on his limit. He's coming for number 3. This is for number 7 of the quarter. 7 goals at the quarter, that is. Do you think he has the distance? I mean, you've seen him with pretty good training.
Yep, so Billings will go back here. He's going to be right on his limit. If there is a breeze, he's probably slightly into it. So left foot kick. It's a nice drop punt. Has it got the legs? It does. It'll miss just to the left. And Gibson doing the kicking in duties again. So they've had their gun midfielders doing the kicking in today, the Hawks. Going up the middle of the ground. Good courageous mark there taken by Hillier, who, once he gets a bit more senior experience, he'll be a good player. Sort of just goes in and out of games at the moment. But he wouldn't get a tougher challenge than playing Terrigal at home.
And it comes for a ball up.
Ball up again. So
7
into
goals.
time on here, it's 124 playing 29. Nearly a 100-point deficit here at Adcock Park. Billings again kicking forward. Was that 15? It was, said the umpire. So Jackson will have it. He'll handball back to Lewis, the quarterback. Jay Lewis kicks
Not a
to
good
no
kick.
one.
If you're putting the back bin for
Spriggs
that.
has it at centre half back here for the Hawks. So Spriggs goes back out to where it just came from. Pretty good kick and a good grab there. Might have been, I can't see who that player was. We'll come back to that anyway. It's Sheldon with the ball here in the middle of the ground. This is the kick that's hurt them. It's not a bad one on this occasion.
Better.
And a grab taken here. And it will be a shot on goal for Cardiff. Late in the
third quarter, I think.
Third term. Do we have a number there for that player?
It's on a far angle again. I mean, we can't probably see that. I mean, we'll have to get it as he comes in now. Mystery man, isn't he? In he comes. Well, lucky the mystery man's blind man was here
Ball
today.
just ended up going through there for a point. It might have been Hugh O'Neill. I'm not really sure.
Well, we couldn't be told, well.
So Jay Lewis, he's got Damon Smith out here straight off the bench. He'll get there first, Smith. Smith plays on. Goes now for Grimman. He's going to take a mark in front of Mayo. It was a pretty good kick. Just fell into the lap of Grimman. Three-quarter time at Adcock Park, and it was a complete dominant performance from the Panthers. They lead at three-quarter time, 124 to Cardiff 30. Goal kickers, please. Andy Baldwin.
The goal kickers, thank you. For Belmont, 16-footers. Alistair Richardson, for Terrigal, Alistair Richardson, 4. John O'Goulay, 3. James Webster, 3. Corey Bellins, 2. Singles to Aidan Warren, Jackson Farquhar, Jacob Jackson, Sam Ellis, Corbin Bond, Sam O'Brien, Chris Bishop and Alex White. For Cardiff, 2 for Tom Quaid, 1 for Michael Norton, and 1 for Liam Gibson. Three-quarter time here at Adcock Park. We'll be back for the fourth quarter and a few more things after this.
Thanks a lot, Andy. We'll see you soon.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the Hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morisset. Subway Morisset is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
We have a visual.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.
Final quarter action coming your way from Adcock Park at West Gosford. It's the Panthers, the defending premiers, with a commanding lead. They're currently in front by, I think that's a square 94 points, Andy. And all one-way traffic. They're not taking their foot off the pedal, are they?
No. We've got some score updates from in the grounds. Thanks to Belmont 16 Footers Restaurant. Open 7 days a week for the perfect feed on the Lake Macquarie. It's three-quarter time at Warners Bay, where it's Killarney Vale 7:10:52. Warners Bay 1:6:12. Three-quarter time at number 1 Sports Ground. Nelson Bay 2:6:18. Newcastle City 7:14:56. I believe, as I said before the telecast began, that game between the teams between Nelson Bay and Warners Bay will be fighting for that 4th spot. Can you predict who will make that final spot?
I'd probably... I haven't seen Nelson Bay in a while. Might go with them, Nelson Bay.
The thing is, Nelson Bay probably we mentioned that they had a loss to Cardiff last week, and I think they were mentioned in the paper in the Newcastle Herald just recently about they need to be finals ready, and I don't think they're finals ready just yet. They've probably got their next week game. It's going to be who they got next week anyway? That's the question. I'll find out that once you get the last one.
So just about ready to go here again. Final quarter action from West Gosford. Ellis now up against Cochin, so Cochin's played everywhere today as well. Gibson there trying to get it clean possession. Billins, who's been consistent as well. It's a pack of players in there. Hillier, also Spriggs. Eventually comes out to Sheldon. He's well tackled by Bond. So in the end, it's Flint. Left foot kick goes straight up in the air. No one takes the mark. Richardson, who's been one of the better players on the ground, gives the handball back to Bishop. Chris Bishop runs in, open goal.
No problem,
Perfect finish there to Bishop. He kicks his...
Second of the
Second
day.
for the day. It was his first goal was a good one as well.
And that's just cracked the margin to 100 points now. So,
just to remind you, Andy, you've got to pick player of the day today as well. I thought Aidan Warren kicked a very good goal in the forward pocket.
In the second quarter, definitely. Dartson Holt, man of the match.
Yeah, so
player today. So he'll get a nice $50 voucher. He's probably the favourite at the moment.
We
But
don't know yet. There's still plenty of time.
We've still got an age of time. By the way, we found out basically that Killarney Vale is Nelson Bay's next opponent on a Sunday.
Yeah, next Sunday. So, and also news, John O'Goulay with a hamstring injury in the first term. He'll probably miss a week or two. Already with a fair few out next week, the Panthers. So, Jay Lewis with the kick now, goes towards full forward. Full forward, beg your pardon, centre half forward, Stewart. Average handball across to Sheldon. Sheldon was good enough to get possession back. Handballs further back again to Stewart, and away they go, the Hawks. Gordon will get there first. Ends up taking clean possession. Broke the tackle there of Grimman and goes to centre half forward. Jay Lewis goes back. Couldn't take the grab there in front of Thompson. Ball still bouncing around. Cardiff players going to ground, which they've probably done a little bit too much today. They've elected to go to ground. Gibson there couldn't take a kick. Ends up back in the hands of Webster. So Webster just beats a couple of tacklers and double backs, gets on his right side and kicks out to the half-back flank. To no one really in particular. It ends up in the hands of Norton for Cardiff. So handballs to Stewart. He's on his left side. I don't know if that really gained anything there for the Hawks. Farquhar. Handballs now, and they're away the Panthers through Jay Lewis. So goes to Darling once again. Just one of those ankle balls for Darling. Couldn't bend down and grab it. Norton. Good tackle there from Jack Grimman. Play on was the call. In there, I think it's Jacob Jackson or maybe Alexander White. I'm not sure. It looked like an awkward tackle.
So other round fixtures, basically, Cardiff will play Warners Bay at number 1 Sports Ground at 2 o'clock on next Saturday.
Okay, so free kick there paid for, I don't know what that was, a shepherd out in the ruck. I'm trying to read the actions here of the umpire. Ends up in the hands of the coach. So Bishop handballs to Lewis.
Oh, and off the ball. Advantage, is it?
So advantage has been played. Bishop must have been held for too long. Jason Van Dam doesn't kick many goals. The
Jason
captain.
Van Dam.
He's kicked that one though. The skipper. Jason Van Dam kicks his first for the day.
Must be for his first for the season, I suppose, we're on.
And Terrigal continue on their merry way.
Belmont 16-footers is located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie. Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. For all of the latest in news information and promotions, visit them on 16s.com.au or find us on Facebook.
Good stuff, Andy. Jason Van Dam's kicking goals. They must be going well, the Panthers. Webster breaks another tackle. Just so strong through the hips. Handball out to Flint. Bishop couldn't take clean possession. Just mucked that one up a little bit there, Bishop. So there's Flint. Handball out the back further again. Webster's had heaps of it. Beats another couple of tackles, does Webster. Now delivers with the right foot. It's not a great kick on that occasion. Once again, poor old Angus Darling can't buy a chest mark or even a drop punt that hits him in the right area. It ends up in the hands of Alexander White, who drills a kick. Now, I think he might have kicked that one. Great goal there to White.
That's his second.
Kicks his second for the day, and the Panthers can't miss, Andy.
They can't miss, mate. I mean, just to mention that those people who have not got a goal, I mean, please make sure to get a goal. I mean, we want to have a nice history-making day. Jack Grimman, Damon Smith, Gavin Kirkman, Jay Lewis. I mean, come on, Jay, you've got to get a goal. James Hart, Angus Darling, we mentioned already. Jared Flint, I mean, he should have at least a goal. Lachlan White and Josh Polglaze.
I think Angus Darling, he's in full forward. They've kicked how many goals today?
They've kicked
30-odd goals?
21.
21 goals, and Angus Darling's parked up at full forward. Hasn't got one next to his name.
Umpire
plays another free kick. Not sure what that one was for. It's going to go to the Hawks. They haven't played advantage. It's going to go to Koshin.
No advantage there. I mean, we'll go back for a hold off the ball, and Koshin will definitely get the free kick. Sam Shergold giving these instructions there to say it's your free kick.
So Shergold pays the free kick there. It'll be Koshin to drive the Hawks forward again. Jay Lewis just overran the footy a little bit there. Getting tackled out of it was Lewis. Great handball from Lewis to Webster. Now off to Corbin Bond, and they go through centre half forward. Here's the skipper, Jason Van Dam, the goal kicker. So they've made the move. They're giving him a go up forward. Van Dam. Terrigal player streaming forward now. He's going to go for the little chip inside to Sam O'Brien, who is unmarked. And it was just a matter of waiting there for the Terrigal skipper. Sam O'Brien ran into the space, and it was an easy as you like grab. And Semio will go back and line up for his
second of the day.
His second. So he's another one of those individual goal kickers, O'Brien. Usually a very reliable kick at goal, Semi O'Brien. Goes back, and of course he misses that one.
You just put him off there, mate. I mean, come on.
So that one's gone over to the McDonald's drive-through.
That is fair
income on the Central Coast Highway.
One of the rare grounds, mate. I mean, we've got to have this. I mean, it's like number 1 sports ground. We had to have a net down here, mate.
Okay, so it ends up with Sheldon, who's going to be doing the kicking in duties here.
That was a putrid kick, and Jared Flint. Jared Flint will take the shot. He'll have a shot from an angle about 45 degrees.
So Jared Flint.
I think surely he's got to get on the score sheet somewhere.
So we want him to get on the score sheet. Jared Flint.
In he comes.
Big booming right foot kick. Starts it too straight and ends up missing to the near side. Hooked it massively. Snap hook. So Flint still off the goal sheet.
Just another goal. I mean, goal scoring shots. I mean, 34 playing, only 10 in this quarter, this game.
So that's it. They're into it now, Cardiff, in more ways than one. They're kicking it into a strong breeze. Well sharked down there by Gibson. The experience shows. Jimmy Hart just leads Dalton to the ball there. Not good enough from the Cardiff forward. Back in the hands of Van Dam to O'Brien. Back to Billings, the left footer. He'll line up the goals. Oh, well done there from, might have been Gordon, I think. But Jason Van Dam puts up the left duke. He wants another goal, Jace. With the breeze, you'd think he'd kick the distance.
Come on, Jace. Give it over to someone else who has an energetic shot, mate. Come on.
I don't know about that. He's an ex-centre-half forward. He's going to pass it off now, and he goes to Flint.
Here we go. Come on.
The man who just missed. Will he learn from his mistake, Jared, and slot this one?
Well, I think he's on a better shot angle now. I mean, he's got to surely. He's got to aim at that forwards on. That's the way the wind is blowing towards. So I think I'll give him from here. Aim to that forwards on, Jared. You'll be fine. In he comes. Told you it was
better kick that time from Flint.
That's better.
Learns from his mistakes, and Flint gets on the score sheet. He makes that list of Terrigal players who haven't kicked a goal even shorter. So he kicks his first of the day. Terrigal will continue on.
Really good goal from Jared Flint there, his first of the day. The Entertainment Grounds has quickly established itself as premier events location on the Central Coast. The Entertainment Grounds is an outdoor, multi-purpose community facility for functions, events, festivals, weddings, exhibitions, and as well as horse racing. Just across the road from us. So if ever you want to have a nice horse race pet, go over there to the Entertainment Grounds. That's all nice and comfortable over there.
Good promotion there, Statsy. Ball's going to go out of play. It'll be a boundary throw-in half forward for the Panthers. We've played nearly 9 minutes here at Adcock Park, West Gosford. Makeshift home ground for the Panthers this week. Next week they go to their other home ground, which will be Baddow Bay. So boundary throw-in. That time Stewart contesting. It's Hillier with the left-handed handball, and it might have gone out of play again.
He stepped out of bounds there. Shout out to a good friend, who's a friend of Bar TV, John Sullivan, who's probably watching it in London at the moment. It's probably they're only 9 hours behind us. It's only 10 minutes to 6 over there local time. So if John, you're watching this, mate, I hope you're enjoying it.
So ball just bouncing around here on centre wing. Josh Polglaze gets there first. Swooping handball over the top to Farquhar. He's been serviceable. Damon Smith delivers with the right foot drop punt. It's a lovely pass to one of the best players on the ground today, Alistair Richardson. Goes with the right foot. He's non-preferred. He was looking for Lockie White on that occasion. It was a good punch from Hillier. Getting there first out there. It might be Jimmy Hart, I believe. I can't see who that player is. I think it was Hart. He did really well in the end. Kick couldn't be marked there by Webster. Bishop sells a little bit of candy. Chris Bishop walks around, kicks the goal. Could that be play of the day?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, he deserves the play today after that.
I often bag him for being on the treadmill. He showed a little bit of toe there, Chris Bishop, and we could be giving him a German feed in Newcastle.
Yeah, well, I think he'll be the very first Central Coast winner, I suppose, wouldn't it not?
Yeah. You got a decision now, Stats.
Oh, mate, I've got a lot of decisions.
There's a couple of favourites. Aidan Warren kicked a good goal. Bishop there selling a little bit of candy. So he can't win his own medal for the best on ground Subway voucher.
We can't give that. I mean, it'd be too much of a sponsor for him. I mean, he loves his teriyaki chicken. That's a new sub from Subway Morisset. Subway Eat Fresh, only open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. locally.
Good stuff. So Angus Darling now up against Clint James in the ruck. Final stages of this match here, round 12 clash. Darling again. Kick forward there by Norton for the Hawks. Just can't buy a mark in the forward line today, the Hawks. I can't really recall them having any set shots. On the bottom of that pack is Spriggs, and the tackling pressure of the Panthers will not let up. It's going to be a ball up centre half forward for Cardiff. Webster again, strong through the hips, left-handed handball. Didn't reach his intended target in Lewis. Good tackle there by Lewis on Trent Thompson. Going back there was Damon Smith, who I thought's been great as well. Just doesn't go to ground, Damo. Kicked out now in the Webster direction. Adlington gets there first. Doing well there, Webster. And now Grimmond has the ball and has a bounce out on the far wing. Runs his full measure. That's got to be too far. Play on the call. He has a second bounce. He's going to need a third. Handball over the top in the Jackson direction. This is a good build-up. Jacob Jackson kicks towards full forward and Bond.
Corbin Bond, the ex-bomber.
So Corbin Bond marks it at full forward. I think Jack Grimmond read about 3 kilometres out on that wing.
I think he would have been lucky not to be caught by the police, which is just across the road from us, mate. I'll tell you what. In he comes. So and I'll tell you what, Corbin Bond, the ex-bomber. Second of the day.
Second for the day. So he was already on the score sheet. Just to really drive it home for the Panthers, who isn't on it. Jack Grimmond, Damon Smith, Gavin Kirkman, Jay Lewis, Jimmy Hart, Angus Starling, Lockie White, and Josh Polglaze. Only players not to kick a goal for the Panthers. Angus Starling, my eyes on you, son.
I mean, I tell you what, is it too early to get to 200 as well, mate?
We don't know. Anyway, so next week we got the Panthers against Newcastle City from Batto Bay. Make sure you're tuning in for that one. It's going to be a 1 p.m. First bounce there at Batto, and the Hawks have
Warners Bay, I think, and then the Killarney Vale has Nelson Bay on Sunday. So
that's right. So Sheldon just scrubs one out forward. It might be Farquhar who gets there first. He's got enough time. Slips over at the opportune time in front of Adlington. Strong tackle there from Adlington. Ends up coming back to the Hawks. They've done pretty well. Ends up in the hands of Hugh O'Neill. Right foot drop, punt to full forward. Do they have a chance here? Mayo. Oh, well done, Damon Smith. He's been brilliant all day. Finds the boundary line. And the Terrigal players get around him. Has he been one of the better players on the ground as well?
He has. I think one of the better players. I mean, it's going to be one of those days heading back to Newcastle, or Cardiff for that matter, for the Hawks. I mean, they've got a long
drive back up the M1, yeah. So Lewis goes across goal. Bond will be the only Panther there, but it'll be Max Hillier to get there first for the Hawks. Hillier will get it back there. Little handball back inside to Haig, who's probably slowed down in the second half. Ends up in the hands of Webster, I think that was, and now in the hands of Richardson. So Richardson gives it back to Webster. Webster out on the wing, has a bounce. Has no one really coming towards him. Now just kicks long. He's going to go for Aidan Warren. Aidan Warren's got 2 to beat. He goes to ground. So Cardiff should work this out here. It'll go out of play. Boundary throw in, maybe 10 minutes of game time remaining at West Gosford.
Some score updates from around the grounds from Fagan Oval. It's Killarney Vale. They've probably got the 4 points now. 8-12-60. Warners Bay 2-7-19. Number 1 sports ground. Newcastle City 9-17-71. 4-6-30. Nelson Bay. And that's a rush behind to Terrigal.
So good players all around the ground for the Panthers. That's what premiership sides have. They have that great depth. So Sheldon kicks towards Clint James. Jack Grimmond, the smallest man on the field, just worried him out of it there. Did really well, Grimmond. And there is Gibson. Also Chris Davies for the Hawks. Eventually ends up in that man's hands, and he kicks out of halfback, and a good grab there taken by Jay Dalton, who's been really well held today by Polglaze and Damon Smith. They don't have anyone really forward of centre, the Hawks, so they just have to chip it around. They do. Still got control of the footy, which is good. Where's the next kick? This is where Terrigal have beaten them all day, and once again, Jimmy Hart there punching the footy out of play in front of Tom Quaid.
I mean, they haven't scored a goal since the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. So
is that right? So they haven't kicked a goal in the second half, or for really 2.5 quarters. Sheldon, tackled there by Richardson. Darling through the middle of the ground. He's going to go for Aidan Warren as well, the undersized forward. Van Dam's there. It's well done there to Gordon. Van Dam does well on his left side.
Not quite the heroics. And
ends up out of play.
Oh, boy.
So boundary throw in here. Deep forward for the Panthers. They seem to have the numbers as well. Terrigal, pretty shallow throw in. Van Dam went for the kick off the ground. They should have to rush it through here, the Hawks. It's not going to be the case. Play on. Ball still forward. In there's Stewart. Handball over the top to Haig, and they go through fullback. So Haig with the left foot drop punt. Goes out there for Hillier. I think it might be...
It's out on the full again.
Out on the full. It's going to be a kick to Lockie White. So White kicks into Lewis. It's a poor kick there from White. That has to be better. Darling couldn't affect the spoil. In there is Gibson. He was gang tackled by about 3 Panthers, one of them being Damon Smith. And the tackling pressure has been sensational. Despite the amount of goals they've scored today, Terrigal have just jumped on any loose ball. So ball up here at centre half forward for the Panthers. Darling doing the ruck work. Sheldon eventually ends up with the footy. He's always consistent, Sheldon. As is this man, Haig. He's had a good year. Haig gets it back now through centre half back. Has a bounce himself in front of Jay Lewis. That's holding the footy. He bounced it, he got tackled. That's holding the ball. Anyway, play on. Damon Smith kicks into centre half forward to that Aidan Warren direction. Strong hands there, Aidan Warren. He shakes his right hand. I think it might have hurt his fingers. But Warren will go back and line up for number
2, the
Number 2
headband
for the day.
boy, Adam Warren. In he comes. Looks all right. Goal umpire will not move a muscle. That's his second, Adam Warren.
Good goal there to Aidan Warren. Just running through all the major sponsors again. Thanks a lot to Bar TV for making it possible. Wilson Security, Prime 7, the Newcastle Herald, Star 104.5, BLK, Belmont 16-footed Sailing Club, GE Industrial Solutions, the Entertainment Grounds Central Coast, Waratah Sports, Mercure Kawinda Waters, Golf and Spa Resort, Subway Morisset, and of course Das Hund Hound, who provide the $50 restaurant voucher for the play of the day, which Andy Baldwin will be deciding in about 5 minutes' time.
It's also good thanks, the people that have decided to wear rainbow laces today. it's going to be a great charity, and we'll get a fundraising amount from every grade that was played today in next week's coverage.
So Polgley's now through our centre half back. Tried the don't argue. He's going to get a free for a high there. He fell into that tackle and ended up with the free kick. So he switches play out now there to Darling, but the grab was just chopped off there. I believe it's Jolliffe who's going through the middle of the ground. Getting there first might be Hart. Reliable as ever, Jimmy Hart takes the grab. Handballs it off to Webster. They play on here. Webster's out on centre wing. Probably had 30 touches today against Jimmy Webster. Just has the 2 bounces now. Chips over the top. Well chopped off there.
I think they've been improving
by the
slightly,
number 50.
but they've still got a million and one things to do. And that's, I tell you what, that wind has held up that ball literally. That was a cross kick that came expected to be marked, and it was bounced out of bounds just about 10 metres away from Terrigal's goal. You got a bit of information about Zadie's again, Ron?
Yeah, so we'll have a chat about it after this. So it's a boundary throw-in deep forward for Terrigal. Another one of those shallow throw-ins. Ends up coming out through Cardiff, and then they kick it to centre-half back Thompson. Been rarely sighted today. Just gone in and out of the game. Bit of boundary throw-in, half forward for the Panthers. So you might have noticed today a lot of the players, most of the players wearing the rainbow-coloured laces. That's in relation to the support of Zadie's round, which is this round, obviously bringing attention to one brave little girl's story in this region. Kim and Alan Turner created Zadie's Rainbow Foundation in memory of their daughter Zadie, who tragically and suddenly died in 2004 at the age of 7. She suffered a blood-burst vessel in her brain. In the year she died, she was the only Victorian child to donate her organs and tissues, and one of only 6 children to donate from the whole of Australia. So bringing attention to that today, a very good foundation. It's great that the Black Diamond got behind it. So
Just
another boundary throw-in.
Just before us, I think we were probably about, we're nearing time on. I think we've got about 7 minutes probably left in the game, and there's a free kick off, before the throw-in began, to go to Gavin Kirkman, one of the rare goal kickers without a goal.
So it's going to go to Kirkman for a push, we believe. Kirkman will drive the ball forward with that left foot. He's going to go for Darling. It goes over his head. Once again, I've said that all day today. Poor old Gus. Ellis. Richardson gathers the ball nicely. Shoots at goal. Misses to the near side for 1 point.
Haven't learnt from what Jared Flynn did. He's got to aim at that forward sign, basically, mate. That's where you got to aim for goals at this ground. And if you're at the netball courts, then I suppose you got to aim it for where that netball sign says Gosford Netball Association.
So just another turnover there. It's out of full back. Dropped the bundle a little bit here, Cardiff. Easy mark taken by Corbin Bond, who will go back and line up the big ones.
Yeah, for his third of the day. I think he's too far out, if you ask me.
So he's got the breeze, though. I think he might kick the distance here, Bond.
And he comes.
Gets it easily. Misses, though, to the near side.
Once again it goes, mate.
Once again, that footy's over at Macca's. Well picked up there by a spectator. So Cardiff huddle out on this commentary side on the back flank. Looks like Norton might be the target, or Clint James. It is Norton, though. So Norton takes the mark. Terrigal players just sitting back in the hole. Their zone covering the vast majority of the ground. Flint goes up and punches. Gordon gets there first. Handball backwards. Well done there to Jared Flint.
Keeps him.
Smothered it. Ball went out of play. Really good stuff. You know, we're in time on in the last quarter, and they're 100 140-odd points in front, 141 points in front, and that's great to see. So James gets the tap down. Getting tackled there was Gordon, almost dropped the footy. Play on was the call. Flint, the smotherer, gets there first. Ball goes out of play. Another boundary throw in. So just a reminder, next week it will be Terrigal Avoca, the ladder leaders, taking on Newcastle City, who are second. That will be at Batto Bay Sports Ground. It's a 1 p.m. bounce next week. Bishop back to Webster. Webster with the right foot, kicks to full forward. Van Dam. Oh, I beg your pardon, it was Grimman, couldn't take the grab. Jace is a bit taller than that. Ends up in the hands of Lockie White. Good smother there from Thompson.
Be a ball up.
Be a ball up.
So I think that's, yep.
So just about wrapped up here. It was the result we expected. Terrigal Avoca, the demolishment continues in 2015 of every side before them. They're going to run out 150-odd point winners over Cardiff. Gordon there playing the goalkeeper role, does it pretty well. They may be out here. No, boundary throw in. Haven't kicked a goal since the second quarter, the Hawks. We know they're rebuilding. They're a proud club. They'll be back. Contested a lot of grand finals over the last 10 years, the Hawks.
I think this is the first time they'll probably miss out in the finals, so a bit of a disappointment for all those fans who wanted Cardiff in the finals. That's a fruit to Richardson. He wanted one bag of 5 today, surely.
So Richardson has it. He surely will be too far out to score. He's been called to play on here. Just drills a short pass now. Oh, Grimman. Great grab, Jack Grimman. Cardiff players, I think, was touched, but Grimman's one of those players who doesn't have the goal. So this could make the list of non-goal kickers even shorter, should Jack kick this.
So this will be for the number 1 today, and this will be the 14th goal kicker today if he gets it. Grimman. Yes.
Kicks it. He gets on it. Good on you, Jackie. That goal there brought to you by the Newcastle Herald, who play an integral part in the Hunter community. Their reporting and commentary leads public debate in the region, and its coverage of local issues from business and politics through to sport and entertainment is second to none. The Newcastle Herald, the voice of the Hunter in print, online and mobile.
"24 minutes. Wouldn't be that far along to go. Not a good sign for Cardiff fans. They'll be probably, but the thing is, Ryan, I would just say this now. Who do you think will replace John O'Goulet in the forward line? For the game
it's an interesting one. They've got Jimmy Polglaze coming back. He's up in Queensland at the moment. He'll come back into the side. But certainly next week against Newcastle, they're going to be missing a few already. John O'Goulet, they've shared the goal kickers around. As a holding the ball decision there goes the way of, I think, Josh Polglaze. So Sam O'Brien gets a little handball receive off. Billins flies high, couldn't take the grab. There's the ruckman in James, tackled by his opposing ruckman in Ellis. Ends up in the hands of Hillier. Sam Haig kicks to centre half forward. Can Cardiff score a concessionary goal here? Probably not. O'Brien almost threw it out. Wasn't paid. Strong tackle there late on Lockie White, and the umpire will have it centre half forward for Cardiff. Surely only seconds remaining.
Surely for the viewers at home, they want to see Cardiff get another goal. it's...
So Jay Lewis had plenty of the footy today as well. He's just dropped that. Dropped that cold. He's drop-kicked it. That's got to be a free kick against him. Did well. Tried to work his way out of trouble there, Lewis. He'll be sore. He's on the bottom of the pack. Kirkman still tackling hard, these players. Umpire letting the play go on. O'Brien ends up clearing the ball. So it goes down in the direction of Richardson.
There it is.
And there it is. Terrigal Avoca. 28 goals, 16 behinds, 184 we have. Beating Cardiff 4-6, 37. No, that's not right. 4-6 is 30. So maybe the scoreboard at the ground's a little bit wrong there. But a very convincing win there to Terrigal Avoca. Over 100 points. We'll get the goal kickers, please. Firstly for Cardiff, Andy.
For Cardiff, we've got for goal kickers, thanks to Belmont 16-footers, Tom Quaid finished with 2, and Michael Norton finished with, and Liam Gibson had 1 each. For Terrigal Avoca, 4 for Alistair Richardson, 3s for James Webster, John O'Goulet, 2s for Adam Warren, Cora Billins, Alexander White, Corbin Bonds, 3 to Chris Bishop, I completely forgot about him. 1 for Sam O'Brien, 1 for Jason Van Dam in the rare point in the forward line, 1 to Sam Ellis, 1 to Jackson, 1 to Jackson Farquhar, 1 to Jared Flint, and we got Jack Rimmond finally on the score sheet.
Good stuff, mate. Yeah, very convincing win there for Terrigal Avoca. They march on. They're now 11-0 in 2015 and red-hot favourites to take out the flag. Cardiff are rebuilding. We know that. Had a win last week, but were just outmatched in every part of the ground today against Terrigal Avoca. Just running through a few of the better players for Cardiff. I thought Ben Stewart in his 200th was really good. Sam Haig for me in the 22 for Cardiff across half-back was their best player by an absolute mile. Timmy Sheldon had heaps of it, as did Liam Gibson as well. And I suppose you could say probably Josh Jolliffe across full-back tried hard all day as well. It's hard to pick a bad player for the Panthers. Webster would have had 30-plus possessions. Damon Smith I thought was great across full-back. Just looking down the list here. Angus Darling in the ruck was very good. Sam Ellis also rucked really well. Corbin Bond I thought was really good across full-back, as was Sam O'Brien across the middle of the ground. For the best on ground today, though, I'm going to give it to the number 25. The Subway Morissette voucher will go to Alistair Richardson of Terrigal Avoca. So congratulations to him. He'll have $20 to spend up at Chris Bishop's Subway. And Andy Baldwin, you're going to be deciding the Das Hund Hound $50 voucher for Play of the Day.
The Play of the Day for thanks to Das Hund House man, Play of the Day. It will go to the Terrigal player number 17, Aidan Warren, for his perfect kick on, I think it was half time, I believe, Ryan?
Mate, you've gone Irish. I don't know what you're trying to do there.
I think I was trying to do German and Irish, but I think he did a great job out there.
Yeah, it was the second quarter, so we're going to give it to Aidan Warren for the $50 voucher. Kicked a left foot grubber goal. Probably just pipped Chris Bishop there for a great goal in the last term. So congratulations to Aidan. We'll be back next week. It'll be Terrigal Avoca taking on Newcastle City, 1 p.m. at Battle Bay Oval. Thanks a lot for tuning in. A convincing win to the Terrigal Avoca Panthers.
Right.
Star 104.5 and Black Diamond AFL would like to thank the following sponsors for making it possible to hit the field week in and week out. Wilson Security. Wilson Security is Australia's largest and most innovative security provider. Prime 7. In 2014, Prime 7 has more footy on more nights, live and free. Newcastle Herald. The Newcastle Herald plays an integral part in the hunter community. Star 104.5. Star 104.5 plays the music we all love and proudly supports Black Diamond AFL. BLK. BLK, the official apparel supplier to the Richmond Tigers, Western Bulldogs, GWS Giants, Adelaide Crows, Gold Coast Suns and Brisbane Lions. Belmont 16-Footers Sailing Club. Located on the picturesque Lake Macquarie, Belmont 16s is one of the premier venues in the Hunter region, offering the very best in dining, promotions and entertainment. GE Industrial Solutions, partnering with the mining community in the Hunter for the last 50 years, delivering safe and reliable electrical equipment and engineering services to our customers. Sports Coast Trophy and Embroidery. Sports Coast Trophy are the leading supplier of trophies and embroidery on the Central Coast. Waratah Sports. Waratah Sports has been specialising in sporting equipment, sporting apparel and trophies and medals on the Central Coast for over 20 years. Subway Morissette. Subway Morissette is open 7 days a week, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Car 33, proceed to level 2, check on its service.
Command, this is Car 33. I'm going on my break.
Don't miss the Wilson Security Black Diamond AFL this weekend. Entry to all games is free. Check out the game times and venues at bdafl.com.au. Black Diamond AFL and Prime 7, your local AFL team.